Hey, everybody. As promised, I know y'all are waiting. I do apologize, y'all. I had to clear my sinuses because my sinuses are crazy. I'm still like very, very sick. I'm feeling a little bit better though, but I got some water. I got some bananas. I got some pineapple. I need my water. Wait, I have my coffee, not my water. Shout out to everybody, y'all. Welcome, welcome. All right. So as promised yesterday, I have not watched this. We watching from day one because I heard that this was a very interesting trial. Okay. And day one was very interesting. Now, some of you guys might be like, what are we watching? What is this going on? So to give you guys a little backstory, this is Stefon Diggs assault trial. And we have, hold up, let me give you a little more. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold up, y'all. And we have a situation here. Okay. So let me give you a little breakdown. So this is the criminal trial of the former NFL wide receiver, Stefon Diggs. Now, it began on May 4th, which was yesterday, and it's in Massachusetts, and it's regarding allegations that he slapped and choked his personal chef, Mila Adams, during a December 2025 pay dispute. Now, Diggs has pled not guilty to felony strangulation and a misdemeanor assault, with his defense team contending that the alleged attack never happened and focusing on inconsistencies in the accuser's testimony regarding financial claims. So the charges is he is charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and a misdemeanor assault and battery. Now, the allegations again is Chef Mila Adams testified that Diggs slapped her and placed her in a headlock, restricting her breathing after an argument over money. Defense stance, this is their stance as far as what we've seen so far, at least it's being said. Diggs' lawyers argue that the accusations are false, citing that the chef's inconsistent financial demands, which reportedly grew over to 5.5 million. The trial progress, the prosecutors rested on Tuesday today. So we're going to watch Monday and whatever we have today after witness testimony, including from the chef and digital forensic expert. So they got all that. So, background of the accuser, Mila Adams worked as a live-in chef for Diggs during his time with the New England Patriots. Now, the trial, which is heavily focusing on the credibility and the testimony in a he said, she said scenario, is expected to move to closing arguments quickly. Diggs faces up to 5 years in state prison if convicted of the felony strangulation charges. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty huge, I would say. I haven't followed this at all. So we're going to start from day one. Now, I mean, literally, Law and Crime has us waiting for like 37 minutes. So we're going to start right over here. I'm going to put the closed captions just in case. Okay. And I might have to get out of camera here and there, y'all, because I got to get my bearings and then Baby Bunny will be in and out, right? So we'll start right here, maybe. Hold up. Let's see. Just when I hear some action going on. Here we go. 37. All right, here we go. All rise. Here we go.
In the matter of the Commonwealth versus Stefon Diggs, docket 2554 CR 1862. Are both parties ready for trial?
Good morning, ADA Drew Virtue for the Commonwealth. Commonwealth answers ready.
Andrew Kettlewell from Mr. Diggs. We're ready.
Okay. Sir, if you please stand and face the jurors. Sir, you are placed at bar for the trial, charged with one count of strangulation or suffocation, in that it is alleged that on December 2nd, 2025, you did strangle or suffocate, as defined in General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 15D-A, Mila Adams, in violation of General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 15D-B, in one count of assault and battery, and that it is alleged that on December 2nd, 2025, that you did assault and beat Mila Adams in violation of General Laws, Chapter 265, Section 13AA. And these good jurors, whom I shall call, are to pass between the Commonwealth and you upon your trial. If you should object to any of the jurors, you will do so after their names are called and before they are sworn. You have the right to challenge two of the jurors without giving any reason for doing so, and as many more of the jurors as you shall have good cause to challenge. You may be seated, sir. Will the jurors please stand and raise your right hands? Do each of you severally and solemnly swear or affirm that you will give true answers to all questions put to you by the court or at its direction, so help you God? You may be seated. At this time, I'm going to introduce the attorneys on this matter, as well as potential witnesses that you may hear from. Representing the Commonwealth is Assistant District Attorney Drew Virtue.
Good morning. My name is Drew Virtue. I'm an assistant district attorney with the Norfolk District Attorney's Office, and it's going to be my job today to present evidence to you supporting the defendant's guilt. Thank you.
Representing the defendant is Attorney Andrew Kettlewell and Attorney Sarah Silva.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew Kettlewell. Together with my partner, Sarah Silva, we have a law firm in Boston. It's a privilege of representing Stefon Diggs.
And potential witnesses that you may hear from. As I call your name, if you just please stand and face the jurors briefly. Jamila Adams of Georgia. Officer Kenneth Ellis, Dedham Police Department. Anna Kokolis, Sandy Spring, Maryland. Melissa Goddard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Michael Perry, Boston, Massachusetts. Janelle Sales of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And potential witnesses who you may hear from who are not present: Juliana Stratati of Foxborough, Massachusetts. Stephanie Anastasi of Methuen, Massachusetts. Natalia Moses of New York, New York. And Zia Charles of New York, New York. And the potential witnesses may be seated. Presiding over this trial is the Honorable Justice Jean Marie Carroll.
Thank you. Good morning. I am Judge Carroll. Thank you for being here today. As you have heard, we are about to choose a jury for a criminal trial. The defendant, Stefon Diggs, has pleaded not guilty to the charges of strangulation and assault and battery. To assist you in planning, the lawyers estimate that this matter will take 2 to 3 days to try and present all of the evidence.
You know what? Let me stop. SJ, I was thinking the same thing. You said, I don't even follow this. I don't even follow American football. And I know who this dude is. I'm definitely side-eyed. Well, I was like, all right, well, let's see what they got, right? Let's see what they going to present to us. And thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to you. Jam Jam member for 26 months. Shout out to you, Jam Jam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Member for 2 years. Oh, what? 2 years and what? 2 months. Shout out to you, Jam Jam. Thank you for supporting the channel. First Liberties, I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, that courtroom is so small. Y'all can fart and hear it and maybe even smell it. I was like, y'all can smell everybody's bad cologne in that little courtroom. Let's keep going.
The jury will then meet to discuss and consider the evidence and issues in the case, which we call deliberation, and to reach a decision, which we call a verdict. There is no set time for a jury to decide a case. It will be up to the jury to take all the time it needs. During the trial, while evidence is being presented, our schedule will be to take our lunch and recess between 1 and 2 o'clock and shorter recesses during the day as necessary or convenient. We generally recess for the day by 4:30 p.m. And of course, a trial that does not conclude.
Y'all really need the instructions from the court? I don't think so. Can we just fast forward? Hold up. Let's get to the part where we start. Do we really need put a 1 in the chat if we need the instructions? Because I don't think we do. I'm a fast forward. Okay. Here we go. Let's go to, let's see right here. All the jurors.
Juror number 58. Juror number 34. Juror number 51.
Number 29, number 49, number 47, number 45, number 54, number 35, number 36, number 14, and number 8.
Do you have an interest that would be affected by the outcome of this case? No affirmative responses. Have you expressed or formed any opinions about this case?
Juror number 27.
Are you aware of any bias or prejudice you have towards either the defendant or the prosecution?
Number 37.
Do you know of any reason why you would not be fair and impartial in this case or able to render a true and just verdict based solely on the evidence and the law?
Yeah, we're
Juror
gonna go to
number
the opening
13.
statements. Let's go to opening statements because this is like, come on now. All right, then they take a break. Break. Man, they take long ass breaks. Okay, instructions, the instructions, yada yada. Look at this. It doesn't even start till like 2 hours and here it is. 2 hours and 44? This is why the person that came into my chat and said, honestly, the trial was like 3 hours on the first day. Okay, well, this is where everything starts. We want they already got the instructions. They had selected the jury, 2 hours and 44 minutes. Okay. That is a very small courtroom, y'all. Honestly. Okay, they're talking. What are you having for lunch today? I had a burrito. Tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. What's with the? Let's get into the cheese man. Is so and so dating so and so? They're all talking. Yeah, she's over there dating him, and they getting together, and we doing happy hour after this. Did you see Cardi B in the courtroom? No, I didn't see her. Like this is all they're talking. They're just talking. I'll be like, they're talking shit about people in the office. We talking. What's going on? What's up with that? When is that dude? Did you hear about that one judge that slept with that one guy? What? No way. Oh my gosh. I'm filling in this is the courtroom talk when nobody's on the stand. I don't know. How about the gas prices? Girl, the guys over there is like, girl, what had happened? No, not the cheese. It is. They're all cheese right there. Everybody wants in. This guy's over here acting like he's not listening to what's going on when he really is. All right, let's get it together. Hurry up. Where's the judge? All right, hold up. We're still looking at the clock. Look at this. Dang, they started late. Here it is. So really, opening statements. Here we go. Okay, are we here?
Court, all rise.
Here we go. Did they start opening statements yet? Here it is.
Solemn court is back in session. You may be seated.
All right, Mr. Clerk, if we could have Ms. Adams and her attorney come to sign.
Okay, Ms. Adams, the counsel.
I didn't hear opening statements. Did they start opening statements? Or was that before they went to lunch? Jeez. Hurry up. Let me see. They're already on a sidebar. We haven't even started. What is the opening statement? I'm going to see if I can find it. Hold up, guys. Yeah, the beeping sounds like a hospital beep, right? Maybe I went a little bit over. I want to get to the point. Here it is. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find it. I'm like, where are the opening statements? Oh, wow. Hold up. I'm checking. Okay, 3 hours and 4 minutes is when they start. We go. Here it is. Dang. This beeping keeps going. Here it is. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. The trial's on life support. It's on life support.
All rise, jurors enter.
Finally. All right, here we go.
May be seated.
All right, counsel are ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Drew Virtue. I introduced myself earlier when we had a large group, and now that it's a smaller group, I just want to reintroduce myself again. To give you some room to stand on here of parties and what they're doing. My name is Drew Virtue. I'm the prosecutor, meaning I'm going to be presenting evidence supporting the defendant's guilt. Defense counsel will be representing their client. We'll have the clerk here, whose job it is to create a complete record of this case, both for the recording as well as writing things down when need be. The court officers who are up and about are here to make sure that we're safe, as well as help people kind of figure out where they need to go. The judge's job is to, kind of clunky term from law school, be the master of the law. And that leaves you guys, which an equally clunky term for the jury is the master of the facts. It's the idea that it's your job, it's your exclusive job, your special job to determine the facts at stake that we're talking about, what actually happened. And this is concerning what happened on December 2nd of 2025. Now, you're going to have an opportunity to hear from some witnesses. You're going to have an opportunity to hear from Miss Mila Adams. She'll tell you about her career as a private chef. She'll tell you how she came to know the defendant, about how she came to be working as a chef for him. She'll tell you about her experience working for Mr. Diggs. I expect she'll tell you about a disagreement she had with some members of his staff. And then I expect that she'll tell you about what happened on December 2nd. And I remind you, it's your job here today to determine what happened on December 2nd. I expect Ms. Mila Adams, when she takes that stand, she'll tell you how she was texting with the defendant, her boss, Mr. Diggs. That on that text, they started arguing, they started name calling. I expect she'll tell you how she was in her bedroom at his house, how he entered her bedroom, walked up to her, and slapped her. I expect she's going to tell you how he put her in a headlock, the difficulty she had breathing, that he threw her on the bed, and then he left. I expect she's going to tell you then how that affected her, what she did after her, how she continued working for him afterwards, how she had a dispute with him over a payment, how his staff told her that she needed to sign a non-disclosure agreement to get paid. I expect she'll tell you that it wasn't until after this incident in December 2nd that anyone talked to her about a non-disclosure agreement. I expect for her to tell you how she eventually left that job as a chef, Mr. Diggs, and how she eventually reported what happened to her to the police. You also have an opportunity to hear from an officer from the Dedham Police, one Kenneth Ellis. He'll tell you about his training that he undertook in order to become an officer and how on December the 16th, Ms. Mila Adams came to the Dedham Police Station to talk to the police. He'll be able to tell you a bit about that encounter, what he saw, a little bit about that conversation, and ultimately how he chose to, how charges were filed against Mr. Diggs. Now, in this case, Mr. Diggs has no obligation to call any witnesses. He may choose not to call any witnesses, and you cannot hold that against him. But in the event that he does call witnesses, I ask that you give his witnesses the same care, the same attention, and the same scrutiny that you give to the Commonwealth's witnesses. It's part of your job as jurors, as the master of the facts, to listen to every witness, to pay attention, and to assess their credibility. In doing so, I ask that you keep two things in mind. One, what the witness had an opportunity to see or not to see. Whether the witness had an actual opportunity to witness the crime or just saw things in and around it. And two, what sort of financial relationship each witness had to Mr. Diggs. I imagine the defense may argue that Ms. Adams' financial dispute with Mr. Diggs is an important part of this case, and I'd say it is an important part of this case. But just in the same way that her financial relationship to Mr. Diggs is important, so is all the witnesses' financial relationship to Mr. Diggs. Now, at the conclusion of evidence, I'll have an opportunity to come back to you again. During that time, in closing arguments, I'll ask you to come to a decision based on the evidence you heard. But right now, what I'm asking you is to not come to any decisions. Right now, your main job is to listen. It's to pay attention, to give every bit of evidence the attention and the scrutiny it deserves. And when I say every bit of evidence, I do mean every bit of evidence, because in cases like this, every bit of evidence is important. Thank you.
Counsel Giketa open.
What do y'all think? Did he do okay?
Good
Josh?
afternoon, again, ladies and gentlemen. The assault the Commonwealth just described in their opening statement in only a few sentences. It never happened. Did not happen. There was no strangulation. There was no assault. There was no incident on December 2nd or any other day. There were 6 people in Mr. Diggs' home on December 2nd, and not one heard or saw anything out of the ordinary. The Commonwealth has no physical evidence. There are no medical records. There are no photos or videos showing any injuries. There are videos showing no injuries at all. Pay attention to where those came from. On December 16th, as the Commonwealth just said, Ms. Adams went to the police, and you will learn that after that, on the very day the complaint issued in this case, December 29th, demands for money from Mr. Diggs began coming from Ms. Adams' agents. Starting the end of December on the 29th with over $19,000, and then most recent being a sum for quite a bit more. My name, again, is Andrew Kettlewell, and with my partner, Ms. Silva, we represent Stefon Diggs, who I'm actually going to ask to stand up for a moment. Mr. Diggs is a 33-year-old professional football player and businessman. He played for the New England Patriots last year. He's from Maryland. He's joined here with his mother. Thank you. You're going to learn, ladies and gentlemen, that December 2nd, 2025 was a day like any other for Stefon Diggs. He was in a good mood. The Patriots had played the night before. They'd won. He played well. He was going to head into work on December 2nd, just like any other day after a game, for treatment, film review, team meetings. And that night, on December 2nd, 2025, he and his closest friends were scheduled to fly to Miami, Florida. That was for the 1 week off he had during the season, the 1 week of vacation. It's called a bye week. During that day, after he went to work, friends began arriving at his house, folks who were also joining him on the trip to Miami. There were other people in his house. One of those people who I expect you're going to hear from is his assistant, Janelle Salas. You'll hear people refer to her as Son. You're going to hear from Miss Salas that for the entire afternoon, she was in Mr. Diggs' home in Dedham on Schoolmaster Street, sitting in the kind of main area, living room, kitchen area, watching people come and go. And she was getting things ready for the trip that night. Miss Adams, you're going to hear, was also in that house. She lived and worked in that house as Mr. Diggs' chef for the regular season. And that was from July 2025 to December 2025. That morning, Miss Adams was not happy. Instead, she was quietly seething about being left off that trip to Miami. I mentioned they were going to Miami that night and that Mr. Diggs is a businessman. In Miami, you're going to hear that there was an art show where a furniture line he collaborated with a person on was being displayed. But also in Miami, you're going to hear that Mr. Diggs had a birthday party. He had just turned 33, and that there was a week's worth of fun. And Miss Adams initially was expected to be on the trip, but she had been left off. She'd been left off because she'd spent the previous several days feuding with that business partner from the furniture line who was in Miami. And that person's name is Lindsay. I'm going to get back to that in one moment. Why was Miss Adams so frustrated that morning? Why was she so upset about Mr. Diggs taking Miss Lindsay's side in a feud over hers? It's because Miss Adams wasn't just a chef. She had known Mr. Diggs for years previous to ever working for him. They had been friends, and at times they'd been friends with benefits. That relationship had led to Miss Adams getting the job to cook for Mr. Diggs. She got to live in the house. She went to games. She sat with the owners of an NFL team, went to parties. She was paid $2,000 a week in reimbursement for what she claimed she spent on groceries. And she had plenty of opportunity to talk to Mr. Diggs about trying to get him to invest in her to open her dream restaurant. As that season wore on, her place in Mr. Diggs' circle began to slip. And things came to a head in late November when that issue that I just mentioned, the feud between her and this person named Lindsay, popped up. That feud, it's about an anonymous blog post that was posted on the internet. Lindsay said that Miss Adams posted it. Miss Adams said Lindsay was the problem. The blog, the drama, all of that, it's not important to this case. What is important is that by December 2nd, 2025, Miss Adams was furious. She was upset about being left off the trip. She was upset about Mr. Diggs taking Lindsay's side over her in that argument. And so while he was at work, she was at the house. And you will see the text messages, I expect, that she sent to him that morning. You'll see her frustration boiled over. A quick word about those text messages. I expect you're going to see most, if not all, of these messages. And there's some language in there that is not typically courtroom appropriate. There's cursing, there's slang. The one thing I ask of you is that you don't let the way that the messages, the two parties in the messages communicated with one another, interfere with your ability to understand the content and to understand their importance. Because you're going to see what that exchange was about. You're going to see it was about this dispute, about Miss Adams being left off the Miami trip, and about Mr. Diggs picking somebody else's side over her. And you're going to hear why that's important. Because as I said, Miss Adams went to the Dedham Police Department on December 16th, and she made her report. And she told them the argument on December 2nd was about money. She told them that's what the fight was about over text and in real life, and that's how things got out of hand. She didn't mention Miami. Listen to what else she didn't mention. And 2 days later, she sent the Dedham Police Department a screenshot of the text messages she said, and you just heard the Commonwealth say, led into that fight. led over the phone to Mr. Diggs coming into her room and committing this offense. And you're going to see those messages that she sent to the Dedham police. And I expect that what the evidence is going to show you after you've seen those, after you've seen all the messages that she did not show to the Dedham police, the evidence is going to show you that she curated the messages. She omitted some, she removed other messages before she sent them to the Dedham police to fit her narrative. By the way, on December 2nd, she indicated to the police as well that she had not been paid for November. You're going to hear a little bit about her payment and about her paperwork. And we'll get to that in one moment. A few of the people who you're going to hear from in this trial, many of them do work or have been associated with Mr. Diggs. Sonny, his assistant, is one of the witnesses you're going to hear from. I indicated to you she was inside the home that day, sitting in the living room, watching people come and go, doing her job like normal. She personally spoke to Miss Adams throughout that day, and she'll tell you what she observed. You're going to hear from other folks who talked or texted with Miss Adams that day as well. You're going to learn that Mr. Diggs had a scheduled day. He was at work in Foxborough, and even after he got back from work, he had a set schedule. He had an IV treatment for 1 hour and a 2-hour massage that followed. Following that, as I said, they were getting on the airplane and they were flying to Miami. As for Miss Adams, what you'll hear is that there was nothing out of the ordinary. She was normal. She cooked dinner for Mr. Diggs on December 2nd. She chatted on the phone and spent the afternoon and early evening in the house. And that night, she flew to New York City to spend her week off with friends. Now, I've said normal a few times already in this case. Let me pause and tell you what normal was like in the Diggs house. Mr. Diggs is a highly regarded professional athlete. He owns a clothing line, a furniture line that I've already mentioned, and other businesses. And he's a public figure. He's a coterie of family, friends, and staff around him at all times. Good professional athletes are paid very well in this country, and Mr. Diggs is very good at his job. He has the means to support his friends, family, and staff, and he takes good care of his people. You're going to hear that on December 2nd, he was taking his entire entourage on an airplane down to Miami and putting them up for a week's worth of events and parties, and that wasn't even out of the ordinary. So normal in the Mr. Diggs house is a little bit different from normal in your house or mine. But just like any other person in this country, rich or poor, Mr. Diggs sits here an innocent man. And any preconceptions or feelings you have about athletes, wealth, or anything else, you have to put aside and not let interfere with the oath you just took as jurors. So we've talked about December 2nd because that's the day Miss Adams claimed this incident occurred. You're going to hear about other days as well. You'll hear a little bit, like I said, about that November blog incident because it led up to the text exchange on December 2nd. The text exchange, the Commonwealth just told you, led into this physical assault that Miss Adams claims occurred. You also heard a moment ago that she flew to New York City that night. And I expect that you're going to hear from the people she stayed with in New York City. Their names are Shai Charles and Natalia Moses. They're both hairstylists who live in New York City, and you're going to see videos from Miss Adams's trip to New York City. Videos recorded only hours after she had landed, hours after this alleged incident had occurred. Videos from later that week, the next day, and a few days after that. And when you hear about those videos, ask yourself, what am I seeing? Where did the information come from? And what can it tell me? Ask yourself whether what is depicted on those videos is consistent with the Commonwealth's theory that Miss Adams was brutally assaulted by a professional athlete in her bedroom on December 2nd. Ask yourself, what would you expect to see from what the Commonwealth just described in a person's demeanor and physically on their body? There's an old axiom that the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts, that is the true answer. See if the Commonwealth theory accounts for all of the evidence that you're going to get to see over the next day and a half. One other thing that you are going to hear, the Commonwealth mentioned it briefly for a moment there, was that Miss Adams returned to the house in Dedham. You're going to learn that happened on December 9th, 1 week after she went to New York City. One thing you will learn about that return is that on December 16th, she told the police that she was only going there to pack her things. The evidence will show you that that was not true. She actually went back to work just like nothing had happened. Pay very close attention to the details surrounding her return on December 9th. How she got there, what she was doing, what happened after she got back to the house in the middle of the night at about 11:30 p.m. and walked in unaccompanied. Listen for those details about what she did then and what happened after, and ask yourself whether it tends to corroborate the story the Commonwealth just told you, that she was violently assaulted and strangled on December 2nd, or whether it instead suggests that nothing happened on December 2nd. As I said, after Miss Adams got back to work on December 9th, she tried to pretend that things were fine. She tried to get back in Mr. Diggs' good graces to get him to forget about the text exchange back on December 2nd. But the damage, the argument they had on December 2nd was done, and she couldn't get back into his good graces. And even worse, she was now coming back and going to have to comply with the same rules that apply to everybody else. The Commonwealth already mentioned one of those. You're going to hear from Melissa Goddard, one of Mr. Diggs's bookkeepers who came up from Florida. She's going to tell you that she took over responsibility for Miss Adams's payment that fall, and that she found, because Miss Adams had had this previous relationship with Mr. Diggs, that she had never been onboarded as a normal contractor. She had never filled out any normal paperwork. And she told the assistant Sonny and Miss Adams that they needed to follow the normal procedures.
That sucks, by the way. Just saying. Okay.
Miss Adams needed to sign proper paperwork, including signing an NDA just like anybody else. And she needed to submit actual receipts for reimbursements, just like everybody else. And you're going to see that Miss Adams ignored those requests until she couldn't anymore. And that happened around December 13th. On December 13th, you're going to learn Miss Adams got an email about that paperwork, and she got upset. She got mad again, and there was another barrage of angry text messages to Mr. Diggs. And this time, she wound up getting herself fired for good. I expect that you're going to end up seeing those messages as well. Messages the police weren't told about, because the police weren't told she went back to work after December 9th. This time, some of those messages actually were about money, but also still the same Lindsay blog post issue of Mr. Diggs picking someone over her. The end of this exchange on December 13th was more specific than December 2nd. Mr. Diggs sent $2,000 via Apple Pay that Ms. Adams claimed she owed, and told her she did not need to worry about cooking for him anymore. She was out, and this time she knew there was no getting back in. And listen to what happened when you hear the evidence after that, after December 13th. 3 days later, as you've already heard, Miss Adams went to the police. She didn't tell them about December 13th, or that she'd been fired. Instead, she told them a made-up story. She was furious, and she wanted Mr. Diggs to pay in every sense of that word. And what you will hear is that her demands for money, as I said, began on December 29th, the same day the criminal complaint issued in this case. You will also hear that as this case has gone on and public pressure has grown, that number has only gone up. And I will let her tell you what number she is now demanding from Mr. Diggs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Diggs sits here an innocent man. That's the beauty of the American justice system. You heard a little bit about the way trial works. You heard that the burden is entirely on the Commonwealth to prove its case. Their burden, proof beyond a reasonable doubt, it's the highest burden in our system. And as Mr. Virtue mentioned, Mr. Diggs has no burden whatsoever. One thing Mr. Virtue and I agree on, be skeptical with every witness. And financial incentives certainly do play a role in this case. We will call witnesses. We do so to give you the fullest possible picture of what happened and what did not happen on December 2nd, to give you the clearest picture of the truth. But that does not mean that we have to prove a single thing. The Commonwealth bears the burden, and the burden never shifts. That's how our system works. That's the beauty of it. That when an innocent person like Mr. Diggs is charged with a crime they didn't commit, what can they do? They can do this. They look the Commonwealth right in the eye and they say, prove it. And that's exactly what Mr. Diggs has done. That's why you are here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what a trial is. Mr. Diggs has chosen to place his fate in your hands. You, ladies and gentlemen, are the most important part of our system. I thank you, and Mr. Diggs thanks you for being here and for your service. You are the only people who can and who must hold the government to its burden. And the way you do that, it's not fancy. It's by using your common sense, your life experience, tools you use every day of your life to weigh credibility and to make decisions. And our system depends on that. You are the judges of credibility. And so I ask that you listen carefully, that you keep your full attention while you're here, and that you remember that the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts is the true answer. One of the worst things that a person can go through is to be charged with a crime that they didn't commit, especially in a situation like this one, where the charge hinges entirely on the word of a single person, and that person has millions of reasons to lie. So let's have a trial. And at the end of it, at the end of all the evidence, after you have heard it, I'm going to have the opportunity to come back and discuss the evidence as well. And at that time, I'm going to ask you to deliver what I expect will be the only true and just verdict in this case. And I can tell you right now that that will be to find Stefon Diggs not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. Oh, we.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth will call Mila Adams to stand. Thank you very much.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
May I inquire?
You may.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Jamila, Jamila, Adams, ADAMS.
And do you normally go by Jamila or
I go by Mila.
Mila? Okay. And what do you do for a living?
I am a professional chef. I have been working in the industry for 13 years.
So you're a professional chef. Do you work in kitchens and?
I work privately for athletes, prominent figures, and wealthy families.
So you're a private. Is there a difference between a private chef and personal chef? Are those the same things, or?
It's pretty much the same thing.
And how long do you say you've been a private chef?
13 years.
13 years. And what sort of training did you take to become a chef?
I went to school for clinical psychology, so I have a degree in psychology. But I followed my passion in cooking because I grew up in the South and we cook. So I did some training in France and also Italy.
And kind of very generally, what does a private chef do?
We provide daily meals for our clients. So that would be breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It's typically a live-in situation. So readily available to them, kind of like 24 hours a day. So I would say it's based on clients' needs. So
And
Each client would, whatever your health goals were or health issues were, I will help you get better.
so you mentioned a little bit about what kind of clientele have you worked for?
Athletes, entertainers,
And without naming names, what kind of athletes or entertainers do you mean?
singers, football players, basketball players, baseball players,
And are these professionals?
very professional.
How much do you make in that job?
It ranges, depending on the needs they need from me. If it's a full-time live-in, it can range from anywhere $5,300 a week to $10,000.
Turning your attention now to a Mr. Stefon Diggs. Do you know Mr. Stefon Diggs?
Yes,
And how do you know him?
I've known Stefon Diggs for over 4.5 years.
And how'd you meet him?
We met in December 22 through an Instagram message. He first wanted me to cook for him.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And could you identify him through? I see you're pointing at someone, but could you describe him just because we have to have everything on the record? You describe him either clothing he's wearing or hairstyle, anything like that?
Blue shirt and blue tie and blue suit.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant as Mr. Stefon Diggs?
It will reflect that identification of the defendant.
Thank you. Over those 4 or so years, how would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. We had it started out as friends. We met, it started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
So you said February 2025, you and he talked about you working for him,
Yes.
and that's as a private chef?
Yes.
What were the sort of terms of your employment? Like were you going to be living with him?
Yes.
And how many meals or what was it like working for him?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, yes. So as far as your employment goes, what were your duties working as a Mr. Diggs private chef?
My duties were to make all his meals, his snacks, basically get him healthy. That was the start of our initially hiring me. He was coming back. It was his comeback year. And I wanted to help him get healthy, to eat better too.
So how does it, do you create a menu? Does he just tell you what he wants? Do you
I'm skilled with recovery. So I knew what it would take to get him, help him get healthy and stay healthy. To help him change his diet. So it was more so like diet change would be the focus, and just overall help.
and did you would you cook just for him or for other people as well?
Yes, I will cook for whoever was in the house.
And I know you mentioned earlier your breakfast. Is that the sort of standard? Was it every day breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then?
Yes, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks.
And how much did you get paid for this?
We agreed on $2,000 a week.
And how did you get paid?
Finance office would pay me.
So you said that you, while this was staying in his house, right?
Yes,
Where was this house?
7 Schoolmasters Lane,
In what town?
Dedham.
And could you describe this house? What was it? It was a single family home.
What do you mean by that?
What was it? Was it an apartment? Was it?
Oh, it was a single family home's house.
And how many floors was it?
Basement, middle floor, a landing, and then top floor. So 3 floors.
And so, where was the kitchen?
The kitchen was downstairs on the floor you come into the house on. So the first floor. I call it.
And that's where you did your chefing, cooking, baking. I don't know.
Yes, where I did my cooking.
Yes.
Yes,
And where did you stay in that house?
I stayed on the top floor.
And where was it in the house?
It was up the landing all the way to the back, and it was over the kitchen.
And was this a single bedroom that you had? Was it a suite? What was it?
A single bedroom with a full bathroom.
With a full bathroom. Was the bathroom off of the bedroom?
It's the bedroom, and then you walk back into the bathroom.
So
It was in my room.
okay. So the entrance to the bathroom wasn't in the hallway. It was in the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. And where was Mr. Diggs? Where was his bedroom?
Up the first landing.
Okay, so you said that there was the floor you come in on, a landing, and then
Mr. Diggs' room.
Mr. Diggs was on the landing?
Yes.
Okay. How long were you there in that house?
From July 2025, July 20th, 21st. I can't remember exactly. To December the 15th.
And during that time, who was at the house with you?
Mr. Diggs, his friends.
Did he have other staff that lived there, or was it just?
No, it was just I was just living there. He had friends that basically lived there.
Okay. And while you were living there, was it a kind of regular schedule or thing? How did that work?
Yes, he gets a different schedule by the week, but it will change by the day sometimes. Sometimes he will have to go in later or earlier. So I will often ask at night what time you have to be at work, so I can have breakfast prepared for him to take.
Turning your attention now to November. Around November, did any sort of friction occur between members of his staff?
Yes.
And what was that?
I would friction. Say that again.
Did-
Friction.
was there any sort of maybe I should say this. What, if anything, happened near the end of November?
Yes. A Instagram DM message was sent to his child's mother's friend, and this message was stating that I was telling his personal business of women that he was sleeping with that worked with us, that worked with me, and yeah.
And so-
as far as I can remember what that message said.
And
So
how did this create friction within the people working for Mr. Diggs?
I was confronted by Mr. Diggs if I said these things, but it had already been Mr. Diggs had a ongoing sexual relationship with Lindsay Bolin, and this person, she didn't like me, that fact that I was in the house.
So you mentioned Lindsay Bolton. Who's that person?
Lindsay Bolin, it works for Mr. Diggs.
And how? Like, what does she do?
I can't quite answer that. I just know he provides housing,
So
taser.
she's someone
I
who
don't
works
know.
for
Yeah, she works for him.
And so
Hey, who isn't this guy sleeping with? I'm sorry, I just had to pause it there. Like, what? Lindsay who? What?
did you and Lindsay get into any sort of argument, you mean, or?
We didn't get in. We got in an argument after Mr. Diggs confronted me. She sent me a message first, per his instruction, and called me a name. Excuse my language, guys. A bitch, and she just went on and on and on in this message about me.
Objection, Your Honor. Maybe we heard it side by.
Yeah.
Girl. They put the white noise and the beeping. Okay. How long do we go to the objection? Let me see. Okay. Is it long? Okay. Objection. Here we go. I don't think it's long. All right. Sorry, I paused it for a bit. That's the white noise. Lord have mercy. Hurry up. Let's see. I don't want to fast forward too much. They do go on break after this, though. That's interesting. So this is a mess. So he's like sleeping with his own staff or what? The beeping is her pulse. She knows we're gonna. The courtroom is on life support. Literally. Let me see if I can. Oh, here we go.
The whole staff is supposed to go there. Yes.
You said a whole-
Yes.
at some point, were members of Mr. Diggs' staff going to go down to a trip to Miami?
The whole staff is supposed to go there. Yes.
You said a whole staff.
I wasn't finished on that last question.
That's fine, but I'm asking questions now.
Okay.
So at some point, members of his staff were supposed to go down to Miami, right?
Yes.
You said the whole staff. How many people was this?
His assistant, myself, and his friends. It was him.
And did you end up going down to Miami?
No.
And why is that?
Mr. Diggs told me that I couldn't go because me and her had an issue from November 26th issue.
Your Honor, may we proceed with some questions?
Let me check the time on this.
All right, jurors, at this point, we are approaching the lunch and recess, so I am going to release you to the lunch break. We will resume in about an hour, just about 5 minutes.
Dang.
I want to remind you that you are not to discuss this case with anyone, not on social media, not even amongst yourself, no family, friends, nothing about this case is to be discussed while this matter is still pending. Instructed earlier about that. I want to remind you as well.
Okay.
You should have your lunch waiting for you.
So they go to lunch. We're going to skip all the way to live view, live view, live view, live view. Here we go. We look at the clock. This reminds me of the Karen Reed case when we were looking at the fan. We were on Fan Watch when we watched a little bit of it. All right. So then it starts back again, I think at 4:50, 55. So we're going to start right here. Okay. Let's play. Wow. I thought it was going to be longer. Oh, okay. Hold up. Let me shout out some people while I'm here. SJ, thank you so much for this super sticker. SJ, thank you. Thank you. AG or AG X, thank you so much for this super sticker. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please. And thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Hold up. Let me put that down. Thank you. Here we go.
Ms. Adams, before you proceed, I'm going to ask you to do your best that you testify to keep your voice up. All right, we need to make sure that the person in the last row of the courtroom can hear you. All right?
Yes.
Thank you. Come on, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Adams, can I now turn your attention towards the date of December 2nd?
Yes.
Were you still employed by Mr. Diggs at this time?
Yes.
And where were you on December 2nd?
I was in the house. 7 schoolmasters.
Gotcha. And that day, what were you doing that day?
I woke up in the morning, prepared breakfast. Mr. Diggs came downstairs. He asked me what was I doing for the week, and I asked him, "Oh, so you weren't going to tell me that I wasn't able to come to Art Basel?" And he explained why, and it was because of the situation with me and the other coworker, Lindsay Bolin. And I was upset with him, not upset at the fact I couldn't go to Art Basel. Me and him have a relationship for over 4.5 years. He could have told me weeks ahead of time, because me and his girlfriend, Cardi B, we were talking about having like outfits and stuff. It was like a whole thing being planned, and he just waited till the last day. So I was more upset with him not letting me know I wasn't going to come like at an earlier time.
And at some point during this day, were you alone in your bedroom?
Yes.
And do you know around when this was?
It was in the, like around 3 afternoon, 3-ish. What was it?
When you're in your bedroom by yourself, what, if anything, were you doing?
I was sitting on the bed, laying across the bed. I had my laptop, reading a cookbook, actually.
And were you communicating with any people at this point?
I received a text from Anna, was one of his friends.
Did you receive any text or send any text to Mr. Diggs?
No, the morning text that was in the morning. We had went back and forth.
So you had some previous texts in the morning.
Yes.
So you're in the bedroom. What happens next?
I was in the bedroom. Mr. Diggs came into my room. I was laying across the bed. He came into my room.
When you were in the bedroom, was the door closed?
Yes, the door was closed.
So when he came in, did he open the door?
Yes, he opened the door.
Did he leave it open after him?
No, he closed the door behind him.
And you said you were on the bed?
Yes, I was laying across the bed.
About how far away were you from the door?
About 4 or 5 feet, something like that.
So he comes in, closes the door behind him. What happens next?
He asked me to come here. He walked across the room and like leaned back on the dresser.
Okay, and just to give a kind of a sense, where's the dresser in the room in relation to like the door and?
Across the room, alongside the bathroom door.
Okay, so about how far away from the front door is the dresser?
What, 8 feet? I don't know them. A nice amount of feet.
Okay, so some amount of distance from it. You said he leans against the dresser?
Yes.
Are you still on the bed at this point?
I'm still on the bed at this point.
What happens?
He comes in, he looks very angry. He was upset from the text exchange we were having. And in that text exchange, he was calling me bitches, and he was just very upset.
But what happened in that room?
He came in and he with intent to hurt me.
No. What? Not his intent or anything. What actually happened?
He was leaning against the dresser. He asked me to get up to come here. I got up off the bed and I came across to him and I stood in front of him. Like I stood on the side of him because he was leaning back. I stood on the side of him and he was like, "What was all that shit you was talking?"
And then what happened?
And I was beginning to say, "You said," and I couldn't finish my statement, and he smacked me.
So when you say he smacked you,
He smacked me with an open hand.
do you know which hand he used?
Right hand, right side of my face.
Do you know which part of your face got hit?
The right side of my face.
And I know you're putting your hand against your cheek. Is it your cheek that got
It was
struck?
my cheek that got hit.
About how far away from you were you from him when that happened?
I was at the end of the dresser.
And where was he?
He was in like in front of the other side of the dresser.
So about how much space was in between you?
Maybe 3 feet, 4 feet.
So you said that he smacked. I want to use the word. Did you say smack or slap? I don't know what the word was.
Smack.
So he smacked you,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
I went to try to like block him, like push him like this, like stop.
So again, I see you're pushing your hands out.
I pushed up. He's way taller than me. I pushed up for him.
How tall are you?
4'11", 5 feet.
And how tall is he? Do you know?
6 feet, 6'1".
So you said you pushed out and you made a motion with your hands. So does that mean you pushed with your hands
Yes.
around what, like his stomach, his chest, his shoulders?
up to block his hands.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then he Can I have a second? Can I have a second?
Yes, you can.
Right. When I went up to push his hand, like block him, like block him, he took his arm and he like came around my neck with the grip of his elbow around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck with his elbow.
So you said you pushed against him, and then he put his arm around your neck.
Yes,
Do you know? Were you facing away from him?
I was facing him.
You were facing him. He put his arm around your neck.
Yes, he like spun me around.
He spun you around.
I will have to show you more so than I can describe it.
Describe it as best you can.
I was standing in front of him. When he slapped me, I went to like try to hit him back like this. And then it was like he tackled me, like got me to try to keep from pushing him or protecting myself. And he put his arm around my neck like this, and he was choking me.
So you ended up in a position where his like forearm or bicep was around your neck.
Yes.
And you said he choked you. What exactly did he put pressure on your neck?
Yes, he put pressure on me.
And were you able to breathe?
At first, and it kept getting tighter.
So were you able to breathe?
No.
About how long were you in this position?
I would say roughly I can't recall the amount of time. I just know it went from the edge where we were in front of the dresser to the side of the bed to him falling on top of me on the bed.
So about how far of a distance is that?
About maybe 4 or 5 feet, something like that, 5, 6 feet.
At some point, did he let you go?
Yeah, he let me go. When we got to the side of the bed, I was pushing back. I started to do a move that I saw off of social media. He said to me, that shit is not going to work.
So you say you tried to do
There
a
was a
move.
defensive move where you try to put your hands underneath the person that's trying to choke you. It's like something I saw on a women defensive page or something.
So she saw something on social media. That's what she said. By the way, and then I rock. Thank you so much for gifting. I appreciate you. Sorry I didn't say thank you. If you guys received gifts, please put a heart in the chat. Maybe if it'll go through, maybe not. Hopefully, there it is. Thank you, guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please, and thank you. She says she saw something on social media, but let's keep going.
And he said that shit you see on Instagram is not gonna work. And that's when he got tighter. Like the more I was trying to put his hand, he got tighter.
And then what happened?
And then I was pushing back. And then he like fell down on top of me on the bed because I was on the side of the bed. And it was like, he was like letting me, like, I guess he was about to let me go. But as he was getting up, he like pulled my hair. And he was like, yeah, I thought so.
And then what happened?
He got up off of me, off the bed behind me, and he walked around the bed. I told him I still haven't got paid. He said lies. And he was like, so what are you doing? So what are you doing for the week? And I was like, I'm staying here. He said, I don't want anyone in my house. I don't want anyone here. I was like, okay, so who's going to get my ticket? He said, who always gets your ticket? And that's it. He walked out of the room.
So from the moment he entered the room to the moment he left, about how much time went by?
My last text to Anna was probably like 3:30 something. I text Sunny at 4:11, so it was between that time because I didn't have plans. I didn't have money to go anywhere to travel, so I know.
I know, but just the question was about how long time.
It was just in between that time. I can't say exact, but I know it's before 4:11.
So is that 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes?
He was in the room probably maybe 10 minutes, 15. I'm not sure.
When he left the room, what happened next?
I looked down at my pants. I had peed my pants, and I had just came off my cycle, and I was bleeding really bad again. I guess because I was so scared, I changed my pants and I cleaned up myself, and I came back in the room, and that's when I text Sunny to get my flight.
And where was that flight to?
Atlanta.
At some point, did you exit your? When you said you went to your bathroom, is that the bathroom that's connected to the bedroom, right?
Yes.
At some point, did you leave out your bedroom again?
I didn't leave out my bedroom till later in the afternoon.
But so at some point later on, you did. Do you know about how long you stayed there?
In my bedroom? A while, because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do.
So at some point though, that later on that day, you exited out of the bedroom.
Yes.
And what did you do next?
When I exited out of the bedroom, while I was in my bedroom, I was packing my clothes to leave. I called another coworker, I would call her, and I just asked her, like, you know, what she was doing, and she was like, I told her I wasn't able to go to Art Basel, and that I was going home, and she was like, oh, you should come here, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll come there.
When she said here, what does that mean?
New York City. So I then proceeded to change my flight to go to New York.
Okay. And when was that flight going to be?
I just know I landed at 10:49. It was a later flight in the
But it's that day?
It's that day, yes.
Did you see Mr. Diggs anytime after that happened that day?
Yes.
And what was that like?
He was getting a massage, and I was leaving out. By the time I saw him, I was handing over birthday gifts that I had got.
So when you said you're handing out birthday gifts, who were you handing out birthday gifts?
To him.
This is a gift that you had already purchased, or?
Yes, I normally give him a birthday gift every year.
When's his birthday?
November 28th.
Okay, so this was a little bit afterwards?
Yeah.
So at some point, did you leave this house?
Yes.
How did you leave to get to the airport?
A car, a Uber.
All right, and so an Uber came and picked you up and brought you to the airport?
Yes.
You went to New York. Was it New York City or New York State?
New York City.
Also New York State, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And who did you meet up in New York City?
I met up with Shy Charles, and she picked me up from the airport, and we went to pick up her friend Talia, and then we went to her ex-husband's house to pick up something or to do something she had to do. We were there. We ordered wings and watched a movie, watched some videos.
And did you tell anyone here about what had happened to you?
No, I didn't tell anyone there because they have their own interpersonal sexual relationship. So I wouldn't have never told her anything like that.
How long did you stay in New York?
I stayed in New York Tuesday to Tuesday, so 7 days a week.
And did you come back to Massachusetts?
Yes.
And did you come back to working for Mr. Diggs?
Yes.
At some point, and I know this was a little bit before, maybe a little bit afterwards, but at some point were you talking to Mr. Diggs about money you felt he owed you?
It was past wages.
Okay.
Yes.
When did you first bring that up with him?
During the week of Art Basel, I want to say like maybe the 5th or 6th.
Of December?
Yes.
Okay. And so you felt that he owed you some money from wages that weren't paid. Is that what you're saying?
I wasn't paid for the time of the month. Like I hadn't been paid for the weeks that I put in at that time.
Okay. And who did you talk to Mr. Diggs directly? Or did you talk to his finance people? Who did you talk to about this?
It was a chain of command. Like I would talk to his assistant, but his assistant was under investigation for stealing watches and money. So I don't know if my
Objection sustained. That portion of the answer will be stricken from the record, and the jurors will
Oh my God. What? And this is relevant. Why, for, how, when?
disregard it, given no consideration during the court's deliberation. Please answer the question asked. Commonwealth, next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. At some point, did someone from Mr. Diggs bring up a non-disclosure agreement?
Yes, Mr. Diggs liked to abuse people and try to hide his abuse.
That objection is sustained. That portion of the witness's answer will be stricken, and the jurors will disregard it during your deliberations. You are given no consideration and do not give reason. Next question.
At some point, were you given some information about a non-disclosure agreement by someone who worked for Mr. Diggs?
Yes,
And when was this?
a couple days after the assault.
At some point, did you stop working for Mr. Diggs?
At what?
At some point, did you stop working for Mr. Diggs?
I didn't stop working for Mr. Diggs until my last day in the house. I would say it was the 16th. So yeah, some point.
So December 16th, okay. At some point, did you report any of this to the Dedham police?
Yes,
And when was that?
the Tuesday.
Do you know the actual day or just that it was a Tuesday?
I left on the 15th. I left his house on the 15th. I reported on that 16th.
Okay, so and did you call the police? Did you go there in person? How did that happen?
I went there in person.
And what happened when you got there?
I was begging for my pay with Mr. Diggs, begging for days,
Objection, Your Honor.
and he refused to pay me.
Objection is sustained. That portion of the response will be stricken and jurors will not consider in your deliberation. Answer the question asked. Please raise the question again.
At some point, you arrived to the Dedham police station.
Yeah.
She is the victim of this crime, right? So I would assume that it looks kind of like, you're fighting the objections, right? Like you're still talking when they've objected. You probably don't want to keep doing that, but I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm just like, ooh, because it is giving like, or you have a motive, and that's the part that it could very well be not the case, but she's upset. She's upset, right?
Did you speak to an officer?
Yes, I did.
And did you tell the officer about what happened on December 2nd?
I was very hesitant at first because of his fame and power. So yes, but I
Objection,
did.
Your Honor. Move to strike.
The objection is sustained. That comment by the witness will be stricken from the record, and the jurors are to disregard it and not consider it in your deliberation.
At some point, did you tell the officer about what happened on December 2nd?
Yes, I did.
And did at any point you provide to the Dedham police text messages?
Yes.
So, you're on that, Coach? Your Honor, may I approach this witness? Approaching of what was previously marked as Exhibit 1, I'm placing something in front of you. If you could take a look at that, and when you're done looking at that, look back up at me. Do you recognize what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
It's the text message exchange between me and Mr. Diggs.
And is this the text message exchange that you provided to the Dedham police?
Yes. I deleted messages because making a report to the police in my previous abusive relationship, me.
Okay, Sam,
I'm telling you what.
stop. That part of the answer is stricken from the record. There's
Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Y'all saw that? Let me know, because I saw that.
disregarded. Now, please answer the question that is put to you.
Okay.
And if you don't understand it, you can have it restated for you. Counsel at sidebar.
Girl, we're back to the white noise. Hold up. Is it gonna be long though? That's annoying. Hold up. Let me make sure. Where are we at? I wish it would. Here it is. Okay, back. We're back on life support. Ooh. Ooh.
Do you recognize what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
It's the text message exchange between me and Mr. Diggs.
And is this the text message exchange that you provided to the Dedham police?
Yes. I deleted messages because making a report to the police in my previous abusive relationship, me.
Okay, Sam,
I'm telling you what.
stop. That part of the answer is stricken from the record.
Did we go back? I'm sorry, guys. I thought we were. Did it go back or what? Yeah, okay, hold up. Sorry about that. Maybe I did something. I don't know. Oh my gosh, you just said this. Did we go back? I think we did. Sorry about that. You're like life support again, Rabbit. Life support. I know. Did that really happen, Chloe? That was crazy work. I will say that. I was not expecting that. Yeah, the worst thing you could do is argue with the judge. Don't argue with the judge. Mm-mm. It's like it played again. I don't know. Maybe I did it and didn't realize it. Okay.
Yes.
Let me
Do you
mute.
recognize this? What these is?
Yes.
And what is this?
This was in a text exchange
Between whom?
between me and Mr. Diggs.
And when was this text exchange from?
The morning into the noon, 12-2.
Of December 2nd?
Yes.
Is there a difference between the text messages that you provided to the Dedham police and the text messages that are here?
Yes.
And what is that difference?
I deleted bet and pussy, and I'm ruining that bitch life. Not mistaken. Yeah.
And why did you delete those phrases when you provided those text messages to the Dedham police?
Because when I was abused in my previous relationship, when I would say things,
The objection is sustained.
he would.
The objection is sustained. There's no question there. Again, the jurors will disregard it. Sidebar.
Oh, she did do it again. We went on live support 2 times over this question, correct? I'm not making, like, I didn't replay that part again. I just want to make sure we went on live support like 2 times. She did it again. She did it twice, right? Okay, hold up. She talking? And then it goes. What life support? Yep. So we go on the clock after she's on life support. Well, she's not, but the court is. So they go on a recess and then they go all the way back. Here we go. They start at 32, 33. Here it is. Here we go.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Approaching now with May Direct Potential as marked as exhibit.
That's why I was like, am I making this up? I know I didn't mess up again.
Mind looking through this, it's a number of pages. And when you're kind of looked at it a little bit, you can look back on it.
I'm reading all of them or just that first page?
Have you got a few of those? Let me say, from what you've seen, do you recognize what these seem to be?
Yes.
What are these?
Text messages about the,
Do you know who the text messages are between?
yes, between me and Mr. Diggs.
And do you know when these text messages are from?
12-2. Yeah, 12-2.
So were those text messages that were going on between you and me that morning of that day?
Yes.
And if I can ask you to maybe go to the third last page on this.
In this whole thing?
Of this section. Your Honor, may I approach and
Yes.
Yes.
So on the top page, there's a text that says pussy, right?
Yes,
And who sent that?
I did.
And how did Mr. Diggs respond?
Show me I'm pussy.
And how did you respond?
Will do.
And were those the last text messages sent before Mr. Diggs hit you?
Yes. I'm not mistaken.
Your Honor, may I approach once more?
Yes.
Bringing your attention now to what's marked Exhibit 4. Could you look through a few of these?
Yeah, sounds like she was
Do
threatening
you recognize
him.
what these are?
Like they were going
Yeah.
back and forth with
What are
each other,
these?
and she was
These are
threatening him too.
messages that I sent him asking to be paid.
And do you know when around these were from?
It was a couple of days after. They were at Art Basel. 12-5 it says. Yeah, I know I was begging for my money for a while.
Just, I think, final question. When he was in the room, when he slapped you, when he put you in a headlock, was there anyone else in the room but you two?
Just us two.
And were there other people in the house?
Yes.
Do you know where they were in the house?
Downstairs. If I'm not mistaken.
And you said you went to New York. You met with a Shy. Is it Shy?
Yeah.
How did you know Shy Charles?
She works for him.
Okay, so
She braids his hair.
and so, has she known you longer or him longer?
Him longer.
No further questions, John.
Ms. Adams, today is not the first day you've told the story of what you say happened on December 2nd, true?
True.
The first time you told the story was on December 16th, right?
Yes.
And that was to Officer Ellis of the Dedham Police Department, right?
Yes.
And you sat with Officer Ellis, right?
Yes.
And you told him your story,
Yes.
and he took notes of what you were saying,
Yes.
because what you were saying was important to issuing a criminal complaint, right?
Objection.
I don't know what a criminal complaint is. I was
Well-
making a report. I don't know.
You were making a report to the police
Yes.
about what you said was a violent assault, correct?
Yes.
And your purpose in making a report to the police about a violent assault was to start a criminal case.
No. I made a criminal report to have a report to document it.
So documentation was important to you, right?
Yes.
Yep, leading. Thank you, Miss Amber. Shout out to you. Shout out to Miss Amber here. Shout out to BJ as well. Okay, let me keep going, y'all. Like, this is getting interesting. Now we're at cross. Man, but the breaks in between were pretty long, I might say.
The story that you just told to this jury under oath was very different from what you told to Officer Ellis. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
What you said to Officer Ellis when you reported this crime, this so-called crime, is that you had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to you.
Yes.
You told the police officer who filed the criminal complaint in this case, based on your word, that your fight with Mr. Diggs on December 2nd was over money. True?
Yes.
Except you just testified under oath to this jury that you didn't start talking about money until December 5th, right?
What did you say?
You just testified under oath to this jury.
I have been begging for my money since December the 5th. Mr. Diggs, and throughout those messages, you can see that I was begging for my money since that day.
Which message? Are you talking about Exhibit 3 that you just looked at?
It's other messages that you guys should have me begging for my money from Mr. Diggs.
Ms. Adams,
Yes.
do you recall testifying under oath to this jury that your fight on December 2nd was about Lindsay, your anger at Lindsay, and you being told you couldn't go on the Miami trip?
My anger was at Stefon. I never said my anger was at Lindsay.
You were angry at Stefon on December 2nd
Yes.
because you were told you couldn't go on
I
the
was
Miami.
angry at Stefon because we were friends. He told me at the last minute I could not go to Art Basel.
And yet when you walked into the police station on December 16th, you said you had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to you.
Yes, money owed to me after I asked Mr. Diggs on December the 2nd, when can I get paid?
Your Honor, may I approach?
Your Honor, have you seen the side targets? Yeah.
We on life support. Hold up. Do. Okay, how long is life support for? Okay, here we go.
For the second, when can I get paid?
Okay, that's a repeat. Here we go. Here we go. We went on life
Do you
support.
recognize that document that I've shown you as the police report that was prepared based on your statements on December 16th?
Yes,
You've seen this report before.
yes, I need it.
And you see on the report where it says, she said that on this date, the male that she worked for entered her unlocked bedroom. They had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to Adams. She said that they began to discuss this, which apparently angered the male.
I did
There's no
not.
question pending yet. Do you see that language?
Yeah.
Did you say that to Police Officer Ellis on December 16th?
Yes, I see it.
And that wasn't true, was it?
To my recollection, it was true. We did discuss money and payment.
Ms. Adams, you just testified under oath about what happened on December 2nd.
Okay, I also didn't put in the police report our sexual relationship because I was ashamed. The police report got leaked. I didn't put a lot of things. The most important thing was the attack in the police report. Me reporting anything outside of why he got upset, I didn't feel the need to put it. I was scared of how it was received by the public. He's in a very public relationship with Cardi B. So I did not put a lot of things in the police report. My most important thing was him assaulting me and choking me inside. So that was the most important thing that I put in the police report. I was very vague. I didn't feel the need that I had to go and explain the relationship.
When you were asked questions, you actually gave.
I didn't feel.
You must wait until I finish the question.
Wait until counsel has finished the question. Answer it, if you don't understand it,
Because you didn't feel it was important. When you were asked questions about what happened on December 2nd, you lied.
It did not change what happened on December 2nd. It did not change what happened on December 2nd. He choked and slapped me.
Ms. Adams, I'm going to try my question again. Because you didn't think it was important. When you asked the questions of Dedham Police Officer Ellis on December 16th, you lied.
I did not lie. I just did not expand on detail on the relationship I had with Mr. Diggs. I didn't feel that that was important. The sexual relationship, I didn't feel like that was important. I didn't feel it was important that he was upset because I told him I was not in love with him like those other women. I was ashamed of being with him. I didn't feel the need to explain it to the police officers.
please answer the question.
That would be a great question. I think, why is any of this important? That would be my question. Like, whether she did, like, does it lead to the assault, or are they trying to, basically, is the defense trying to paint her as somebody who would have motive to lie, right? Like, make it or sound like she was somebody that wants, she had other motives. And so I'm thinking that's why they're bringing it up. But why is all this important? You say lie by omission. Ooh, let's keep going.
Under oath,
Oh my
on
God.
December 2nd, when you claim Mr. Diggs walked into your room, you had not been having a text exchange fight over money.
The last text exchange fight was over money. The last text exchange was me saying, you need to pay me out for the rest of the season. I'm out of your life. Give me the money for my business in that order. That was the last text exchange. His response to me.
Well, ma'am, before we get to his response, why don't we get
You
to
will
what
be
you
paying
were
me out
responding
for the
to?
season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my, excuse my language, fucking time being here because you have a, excuse my language again, fucking circus going on. I am out of your life. I am ruining that bitch life.
All right, Ms. Adams, you're going to listen to counsel's question. You're going to answer that question, and then you're going to wait for the next question. This is not an opportunity for you just to say whatever comes to mind.
Okay,
All right, it is to be responsive to the question presented.
okay.
Next question, counsel.
Thank you, Anna. That response that you just read, that was actually a response to something Steph wrote to you, right?
That was a text exchange over money.
Yes or no question now.
What was your question?
What you just read into the record, that was a response to a text message that Steph sent to you, correct?
Yes.
And in that request, in that message that Steph sent to you, you understood you were getting fired, right?
No.
What Steph wrote to you is, "I'm gonna leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me for this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got to this, but oh well." Right?
Yes.
And you understood when you received that he was telling you you were not going to be cooking for him anymore.
No.
You didn't understand that.
No.
And that's why you responded with, "You will be paying me out this season and the money you owe me."
No.
Because you knew you were about to lose your job, right?
I was not about to lose my job.
You didn't understand, "I'm gonna leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got like this," as a sign that you were about to lose your job.
No.
In any event, you didn't tell Officer Ellis on December 16th when you reported this assault any of that, right?
The last text message was about money. The last back and forth text messages was about money. Money he owed me for not finishing out the contract, and money he owed me that he said that he would invest in my business.
So
I took a lower pay because Stefon agreed
Your Honor, may I have
that
the witness instructed?
I will have chance to work on my business by working with him.
Ms. Adams, there's no question in front of you right now. And again, please answer the questions put to you. It's not an opportunity for you just to end with your story.
You told other falsehoods to Officer Ellis, didn't you?
No. Not to my knowledge.
You told Officer Ellis that you had injuries from this alleged assault, right?
I told him I had bruising, meaning redness, and soreness on my throat.
You told him you had bruising on your neck, right?
It was like red. It wasn't like purple bruises. On the incident report, pull that up.
You didn't have any injuries when you walked into the police office on December 16th, did you?
No, because that happened on December 2nd.
Right. So any injuries that you would have had, you had a reason for why they weren't there, right?
It happened, it faded. The fading went away the night.
And did you take any pictures of your injuries?
I was in shock. The first thing was not to take pictures. It was to get it together.
I thought you just testified under oath that you had just received a text message from a woman named Anna. That's Anna Kokolis, right?
You're in the wrong timeline.
You didn't just testify under
You're on
oath.
the wrong
that
timeline.
You didn't just testify under oath that you were sitting on your bed, reading a cookbook, got a text message from Anna, and Mr. Diggs walked into your room?
Mr. Diggs walked in minutes after I texted him. That's how I based the time on what time he walked in the room.
Okay. So you had a phone in your hand when he walked in the room?
My phone was on the bed. I was reading a book. I wasn't texting her in the moment of Mr. Diggs walking in the room.
No. Okay. But you had a phone right there in your room?
Yes.
It's an iPhone.
Yes.
It's got a camera on it.
Yes.
You can take videos with it.
Yes.
And you do take videos with it.
Yes.
You take pictures with it.
She is very demure. That's right. Somebody, she's very demure, very in it, on it, very demure. Yes, yes.
You take pictures of yourself with it.
Yes.
A lot?
Not often.
Not often. You have social media account for your business, don't you?
Yes.
Do you post things on your social media account?
I'm not as active as I should be.
You don't use your iPhone to take videos or pictures for that?
I'm not a very active person on social media.
I see. But you certainly had a phone in your room when you claim you were violently assaulted and injured, right?
That has nothing to do or justify the reason I was attacked.
It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
Yes, I had a phone.
You took no pictures of your face or your neck or
That
your
has
chest?
nothing to do.
I need to finish my question.
Okay.
You took no pictures of your face on December 2nd, did you?
No.
No pictures of your neck on December 2nd, right?
No.
No pictures of your chest on December 2nd.
No.
You said Mr. Diggs hit you across the face. Did you have any marks on your face?
No.
You understand Mr. Diggs is a professional football player, right?
Yes.
He's an elite athlete.
I don't know. He's an athlete.
You don't know that he's an elite athlete?
I guess.
Okay.
You call him that.
And you testified he slapped you across your face
Yes.
and you had no marks from it.
I was red. I was red. I'm lighter complexion.
Bruises, they get worse over time. Do you agree with me?
It was redness. It wasn't bruises.
Oh, hang on. There's an objection. Okay, roll on the objection. That is overruled. You may answer the question.
I had redness, mark, like I'm light skinned. I turn red when
You also get bruises, don't you?
if I hit something hard, yeah.
Right. And bruises get worse over time, right?
Okay. I'm not
Do they?
sure. I'm not sure. I don't get bruises a lot. I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Officer Ellis you were bruised on December 2nd?
My idea of bruising is soreness, hurting. I was red. It was redness. My face was red and on my chest was red. I didn't turn purple or pink or anything like that. I didn't. It was redness.
Because you didn't have any injuries when you walked into the police station on December 16th, Officer Ellis actually sent you a form to fill out to describe the injuries that you said you had on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
And you filled out that form, right?
Yes.
And you didn't do it on December 16th, did you?
No.
He actually emailed it to you, and you took 2 days, and then you emailed it back. True?
Yes.
Okay. And on that form, you put that your chest and throat were very sore for days after, right?
Yes.
And you put that you had redness, tenderness, pain, and bruising on your neck, right?
Like I said, bruising for me is redness. It was sore. It was redness.
Well, you filled out.
Faded away and literally like maybe by the next day, if earlier than that.
Ms. Adams, when did you learn that the defense had provided videos of you to the Commonwealth?
Maybe yesterday or Friday, I think. Sometime last week when I spoke with Drew.
So last Thursday, you met with Mr. Virtue to prepare for your testimony, right?
Yes.
And you met with your lawyer as well, right?
Yes.
Your lawyer is representing you in an effort to get money from Mr. Diggs. True?
My lawyers represented me my workers' comp claim, the injuries that I received on the job that Mr. Diggs refused to pay for. That's what my lawyers represented me for.
Are you sure about that, ma'am?
She is my workers. I got my lawyer from workers' comp.
We'll come back to that. Let's stay with the form. You told Officer Ellis on December 18th, so now 16 days after you say you were assaulted, that you had redness, bruising, and soreness on your chest, right?
I told him that I wrote that.
Well, you wrote it in a form. You took your time and you chose
I
which
checked the
answers
marks.
to give,
Yes.
right? Okay. And you told him your shoulders were red and very sore, right?
Right. This whole area here was sore. Across my chest, up here.
And you told him your whole body was sore, actually, didn't you?
It was.
You told him it was difficult for you to sleep.
I was very upset.
And I think you testified today that Steph supposedly put his forearm around your neck,
Steph did put his forearm around my neck.
not his hand.
No.
Okay. But you told Officer Ellis he used his hand, didn't you?
I'm gonna use this. This is the crook of his elbow. That is in the root.
You're on a minute approach. That's the form that you filled out over a course of 2 days and sent back to Officer Ellis, true?
Yes.
And if you look right in under the heading method and or manner of strangulation suffocation, right in the maybe top third of that page, you see that?
Yes.
Question number 2, how was the victim strangled? Check all that apply. See that?
Forearm, right hand.
You told him you were strangled with his right hand, true?
With forearm, right hand. That is what's checked.
Okay, but you just testified under oath it was only his forearm.
This is the right side. I'm little. Everything went across my neck.
So
So
you were,
that is what I meant by forearm, right hand was his whole right side. Right hand was the smack and forearm was the choke. How was the victim strangled? That was right hand meant smack, but his whole right arm was across my chest.
you also estimated the level of pressure that the suspect used during strangulation. Do you remember doing that?
Yes. I peed myself and I came back on my cycle really heavily.
So that was
So
a
it
yes
was
or no question
hard.
there? You gave it a yes. You remember doing that, right?
Yes.
And you had a choice. Low is a 1 and 10 is a high. See that?
Yes.
What'd you pick?
10.
10.
Yes.
You said Mr. Diggs is 6 feet tall. He's actually 6'2", right?
I don't know.
You don't know how tall he is? You've known him for 4.5 years.
I don't know. He's taller than me. Way taller than me.
Okay. And you know he lifts weights every day, right? He takes hits from 300-pound men, right? For his job. True?
I guess.
Do you know that?
No, I don't know what his role is. And I thought he ran a ball. I don't know if people, I'm not sure what he does.
How many games that Steph Diggs has played in have you attended?
I don't know football. I don't watch it to know what's what. I've attended a couple games.
The question was, how many of Stefon Diggs' games have you gone to and watched?
Gone to, maybe 4.
And you don't know that he gets tackled in that game?
I don't watch it, honestly. I'm just there for the vibes. I don't really know what be going on in football. I don't know the rules.
I think you will agree with me, that if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 force on your neck,
It was
You
10
would've-
for me. For my little body and what I couldn't breathe, it was a 10 for me.
the question was, estimate the level of pressure that the suspect used during strangulation.
It felt a 10 to me. I could not breathe.
So you chose to answer a different question than the one you were asked.
This questionnaire is about me. Why wouldn't I answer it about me? This is not a questionnaire that's a united, I don't know how to say it, a global, this is about me. This is what happened to me.
Okay. But you will agree with me, hypothetically speaking, if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 strength to choke someone, anyone, that person would have bruises on their neck.
I would not agree.
Sustained. Objection.
You will agree that if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 force to choke you, you would have bruises on your neck.
Objection.
Sustained.
Now, you went to New York, you said, on the evening of December 2nd, true?
True.
And you stayed there until December 9th.
Yes.
You had your phone with you all week.
Yes.
You took messages, you sent text messages.
Yes.
We know that because that's when you started talking about your money, right?
I did what?
You
I
testified.
asked for my money. I didn't talk about money. I asked for him to have finance sign off to pay me.
My mistake.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll get to that money too. And you didn't think it was important to record your injuries or take photos.
No, I was in shock. This is someone that I love that put his hands on me. That was not my first instinct, was to go and take a photo.
Sure. And then December 3rd, you didn't take any pictures.
No,
And December
a
4th,
very
you didn't-
complicated relationship. No, I did not take photos.
and you didn't take any videos.
No,
And you didn't go to the ER.
no.
You didn't go to a walk-in.
He already
medical
hadn't paid my medical bills. Why would I go get more medical bills?
clinic. Objection, Your Honor, move to strike.
The answer would be stricken, non-responsive, jurors will disregard it, not consider it.
You didn't seek any medical attention, right?
Unpaid medical bills.
Your Honor.
Counsel's like,
Girl. We're back on live support. Hold up. Oh. Let me see. Does it go right away? We won't be back on for too long. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
When you were with Shy and Tali for that week in New York City, you didn't say anything to them about
I don't know Tally. I just met Tally on the night of December the 2nd.
Okay.
Shy Charles has her own personal
Yeah.
relationship with
Yeah.
Stefon.
I need to be able to ask you questions.
Okay, I
and
thought
you
I was
need to be able to answer.
still answering the first question that you said. You didn't let me finish.
Ms. Adams, we're going to take it again, just a question at a time. This is an opportunity for a narrative, and so let her ask her question, all right, and then answer the question, and if there is, if you're feeling that you're not being allowed to initiate, but take the question out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anna. You didn't tell them anything about being assaulted.
These are not people I trust to tell anything of that nature to.
They're just people that you trust to spend a week with. in
These
New
are
York.
people that I met through Stefon Diggs. I had no choice but to stay with them. I had no money.
I thought you just testified you had a ticket to Atlanta,
That Sonny brought.
and then you changed on December 2nd, right?
Yes,
And then you changed your ticket to Atlanta to go to New York with
Yes.
Shy and Sunny. I'm sorry, with Shy and Tali, right?
yes.
So you did have someplace else to
I
go.
changed the ticket because I didn't have money for Ubers to get home in Atlanta. Shy was going to pick me up from the airport.
Okay.
I didn't have a place to stay in Atlanta. I given up my place to stay with Stefon Diggs. So I didn't have money for a hotel or Airbnb to go home to Atlanta.
All right, Ms. Adams, hold up for the next question.
Thank you. You've traveled with Shy before, right?
Yes,
You went with her to Trinidad and Tobago.
yes.
You're actually friends with her, aren't you?
Associates,
Right.
work, co-workers.
Well, you traveled to another country with Shy.
It's levels to friends. It was a co-worker. I just met Shy in August.
Did Steph go on that trip to Trinidad and Tobago?
No,
And that was in the fall of 2025.
yes,
And then you went on another trip in the fall of 2025 to see Shy, right?
no, I didn't go on another trip. I was told to leave the house, so I went to stay with Shy because I didn't have anywhere to stay.
Okay. And Shy picked you up in her car, you said?
Yes,
And can you describe what the inside of her car looks like?
it's a white car. I think it's burgundy or something like that.
So the outside is white,
Yes,
and then the inside is burgundy.
if most as I remember, I don't quite can't say exact.
Okay. And Shy has a dash cam right in her car, doesn't she?
Not that I'm aware of.
You didn't see a dash cam in her car?
No, I saw like where you see the speedometer and stuff like that.
No, not down on the panel where people look when they're driving. Up on the top of her car. There's a bar on the top of her car with a dash cam on it, right?
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that.
No,
Did Shy ever tell you that she had a dash cam in her car?
no,
Okay. Did you know that you were being recorded on that dash cam on December 2nd?
no,
Did you know you were being recorded on December 3rd?
no.
You know now you were recorded, correct?
Yes,
And you've seen the videos that came from Shy's dash cam in her car, true?
No,
Oh, you haven't seen them yet?
no.
Your Honor, permission to publish Exhibit 5, I understand it's already in evidence.
Your Honor, sorry, but maybe we've seen it sidebar.
Lord have mercy. We on life support again. Hold up. Okay, they're gonna put up the videos. Let's see. Are you guys okay if we speed up to 1.25? I think we'll be fine. I think people will catch up. I don't think it's too fast. But I guess we'll see. Hold up. Let's go. We're almost done actually with it. About an hour and 23 minutes. Here we go.
Go ahead, Counsel. Thank you. Ms. Adams, I'm going to show you what's been admitted in this case as Exhibit 5.
I can't see.
And I believe you testified that you first became aware that there were videos of you last week?
Yes.
I don't know, Ms. Adams, were you able to see that person in that video? If not, we can play the whole thing. Okay. So while this is playing, Ms. Adams, do you recognize that person on the video as you?
Yeah.
And you're sitting in the front seat of Shai's car?
Yes.
And this is you when you were just after you were picked up from LaGuardia Airport on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
Was there someone else in the car to your memory? I'm sorry?
No, not when she picked me up.
Okay. Did Holly Moses also get picked up from LaGuardia just after you?
No, she picked up her boyfriend's house.
Okay. But she was eventually in that car with you. So Shai was driving the car, is that right?
Yes.
And then you're in the front passenger seat as we see you?
Yes.
And then did Holly sit in the back behind you? I'm sorry? Behind Shai? Okay. And this was all on December 2nd?
Yes.
And this is the day you say you were violently assaulted?
Yes, that doesn't justify prove that I wasn't assaulted because I learned how to save face.
Okay? Mr. Petallo, can we also show the next video? It's also on Exhibit 5.
Your Honor, just for clarification, there's Exhibit 5, I think it's just a number of videos in one exhibit.
Thank you. And do you recognize the person in this video?
Yeah.
And that's you in Shai's car again?
Yeah.
And this is the next day, right? It's December 3rd. Do you recognize that? Well, I might not be able to see. I'll give you, Mr. Petallo, is this marked as Exhibit 5 also, the stills?
The stills are
6 and 7? I should have marked as Exhibit 7. Do you recognize that person with you?
Yeah.
And that's you in Shai's car, right? When you visited her in New York City? And you say you don't remember if that's, what date that is? Here, I'm sorry, may I question later? If I could direct your
I didn't say I remember. I didn't remember what date.
Oh.
I can't tell the date. I don't remember. I was in her car on paper of the week.
Okay.
You're telling me it's December 3rd.
If I can direct your attention to this line right here. See how it says 2025 1203? Do you know what that means? Okay. But this is you on your New York trip with Shai in her car.
My New York State.
Okay.
This has not been preliminarily marked. Offering it.
I believe that is a tend to be in the thumb drive. It's in the thumb drive separately.
Stills, though, I think Mr. Cook is referencing, and nothing more than 67 minutes. If you want to, it's in there.
I have no objection to those stills being marked as 6 and 7.
Thank you.
This would be exhibit 7. That's been
Yes, thank you, Mr. Clerk, and this is,
the copy for the court.
yes. Exhibit 6. And then you also had some videos taken of you by Tolly while you were in New York, right?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Do you remember? Well, first, you, Shy, and Tolly all stayed in Brooklyn, in New York, from December 2nd to December 9th, right?
Yes.
And you all stayed in the same bedroom,
Yes.
slept in the same bedroom.
Yes.
And we're together a lot of the time that week. True?
Mostly yes.
Okay. And there was one night where you and Tolly were kind of goofing around with the video and taking videos. Do you remember that?
I don't recall it.
Okay. Mr. Kettlewell, can we play Exhibit 8? And, well, before we do, I would move Exhibit 8 into evidence. It's a video from December 6th. Thank you.
Just no objection to that for the record.
And Ms. Adams, did you recognize the person on that video?
Yes.
Who is that?
Me.
And that's in Shy's bedroom, right? Where you and Tolly and Shy spent the entire week, right?
Majority Ty would sleep on the couch some days.
I'm sorry?
Tally would sleep on the couch some days.
Okay. But in that video, that was Tolly was videoing you, right?
Okay. I don't recall that.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, but we were there.
Mr. Kettlewell and Your Honor, I would move in Exhibit 9, which is another video from that same time, December 6th, 2025.
That's for the record.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ms. Adams, that was you on that video, correct?
Yes.
And Your Honor, I would move in stills as Exhibit 9 and 10. Those are stills from Exhibit 8.
No objection.
And Ms. Adams, I just ask you to look at those and tell me if that's a fair and accurate representation of you from the week you spent in New York,
That day, yes.
on December 6th, 2025.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I publish to the jury? Thank you.
Just for the record.
I am offering to the jury Exhibits 9 and 10, which are two stills taken from the second video of Exhibit 8.
No objection.
Are there any more video clips, counsel, you'll be here? Or the lights back?
I think we can put the lights back on. Now, Steph and his group got back from Miami to get him home on December 7th, correct?
I'm not sure the day he got back. I got back on
I'm sorry?
Tuesday. Well, it was late in the night. Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. The night I got.
Well, you know he got back to the Dedham house before you did.
I didn't know that. When I got there, I realized that he was there. I was in no communication with him on what day he was coming back.
But you were in communication with him.
To ask for my pay, yes.
Can you turn to tab C, which has been marked as Exhibit 3, please? And you testified about the text exchange you had with him at around 12:30 on December 2nd, where you called him a pussy, right?
Yes.
And then he said, "Show me if I'm pussy," and you said, "Will do."
Yes.
Right? And then if you turn the page, if you look to the next message from you, so in Exhibit 3, there are bubbles, right? There's blue bubbles you see and green bubbles.
Yes.
And do you understand the green bubble to be Steph Diggs' messages
Yes.
and the blue bubbles to be your messages?
Yes.
Okay. And if you look on the page, I hope you're on the right page. It ends in that number on the bottom right corner at 118. Do you see that number? You're on there, Coach? Yes. So 117. The page we just looked at. Looking at 118, your first message. And do you see down here these numbers here?
Yes.
So this message was sent on December 5th. Correct?
Yes.
All right, and you sent it.
Yes.
So now this is 3 days after the violent assault that you talked about. Right?
Yes.
And what did you say in that message?
How can you approve my pay with finance, please? I have to pay my insurance this month. Thank you. Please and thank you.
And then if you could look at the next message. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's hold that for a second. So you were texting with Steph Diggs in the week you were in December. I'm sorry, in the week in December, you were in New York, right?
I text Stefon one time.
Okay. But your testimony is you don't know when he was coming back to the Devon house.
I didn't know the exact date.
You did. But you knew he was coming back.
Yes.
Because that would be important to know, right?
I've worked in this industry. I went off of a previous client schedule. They normally will return on Tuesday. So
Well,
I was in guest mode.
But the last time you saw Steph Diggs was when he was assaulting you said.
That wasn't the last time I saw Steph Diggs. I said here that I walked in his room after the assault before I was leaving to give him his birthday.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. You gave him a birthday gift after the assault happened.
We were friends for 4.5 years with a very complicated relationship.
Okay. So if I could ask you actually to turn to Exhibit 4, which is behind the tab D, and Your Honor, this is an evidence. And if you look at that number on the bottom right corner, turn to the page that ends in 173. And I'll ask you some questions before we get to that substance, okay?
Mhm.
I think you testified on December 9th, you went back to the Devon house, right?
Yes.
And you got yourself an airplane back to Boston, right?
Sonny got me an airplane back to Boston.
Okay. And you landed at Logan Airport at night.
Yes.
Then you took an Uber to the Devon house.
Yes.
You arrived around 11:30 p.m.
Yes.
You were alone.
Yes.
You came by yourself.
Yes.
Didn't bring anybody.
No.
Okay. And when you got in the house, you went and knocked on Steph's bedroom door.
I went to put my things away and I knocked on his door. Yes.
I'm sorry.
I went to put my things away and knocked at his door.
And that was around midnight on changing over from December 9th to December 10th, right?
That's what it says here. I don't recall the time. Just what the messages say.
Well, he didn't open his door, did he?
His code was different. He changed the codes when I came back.
Right. Because in that house, the bedrooms all had key codes on each door,
That
didn't
he
they?
controlled. Yes.
Did the bedrooms all have key codes on that door?
Yes, that he controlled.
I'm sorry. This is a yes or no question. See if you can try it. Did all of the bedrooms in that house have different key codes on them?
Yes, that he controlled.
So you can.
What do you mean?
You had a key code on your door, right?
Yes.
And if it was shut,
Oh my God. Like, just answer the question. Yes, that he controlled. Did they have key codes? Yes or no? That's it.
it would be locked, right?
Girl,
No.
what are you
The
doing?
door had issues. I would often text Sunny because she checked and make sure my door was locked.
I'm sorry. When did you text Sunny to please check if your door was locked?
When I left the first week of November, when he made me leave to have female guests over.
Your Honor, let me just check.
That answer is now responsible will be stricken and the jury will disregard it.
So on December 9th, round about midnight, when you got back to his house alone,
Yes.
you went and knocked on his door, right?
Yes.
And he didn't open it.
I
Right.
didn't knock. I tried to get in the door.
Okay, you tried to walk into his door.
No, that's how I would go in his room. I would unlock his door.
Sure, just like always, right?
When he needs food and his door was closed, I would go in his room.
Right.
I never went in his room without permission.
You going in there on December 9th is no different than any other day, right?
No.
And when you weren't able to get in, you actually sent him a text message, right?
Yes.
And you told him, can you read what you told him?
I was coming to ask you what time you have to be at work and to say hi.
And then you just went right back to work, right?
Yeah, I went to bed.
I'm sorry?
I went into my room. And went to bed.
You went into your room and you went to sleep
Yes.
by yourself
Yes.
in the house?
Yes.
With Steph Diggs there?
Yes.
And then the next morning you got up and you made him breakfast?
Yes.
Now you told Officer Ellis when you reported the assault that you left your position on December 2nd. Do you remember that?
I was saying I left the house. I didn't leave my position. I was really going back to get my things. I had no plan, nowhere to go, so I needed to be nice there.
Did you tell Officer Ellis after the alleged assault on 12/2/2025, Adams left her position and left the residence to stay with a friend in New York?
Left my position mean I left to get on a plane and go. I didn't tell them I quit. That didn't mean that I quit.
You didn't quit.
No.
Did you tell Officer Ellis that on 12/9/2025 you returned to the house just to get your property,
Yes, I was going to get my property.
but you were also going to work for a while first?
Basically, I was going to get my property. I was trying to get my money. I asked Mr. Diggs the next day about my money when I returned to the house.
And you kept on cooking and doing your job for a whole nother week, didn't you?
No, I stopped cooking. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't cook over the weekend because I said on the 11th, I asked Mr. Diggs in front of his mother and Shy Charles about my pay.
Okay,
That was another text.
I'll ask a different question.
Okay.
On several days of that week, you simply kept doing your job,
And
right?
asking for my pay.
That's a yes or no question now.
Yes.
You kept doing your job.
Yes.
Officer Ellis was wrong when he wrote that you left your position on 12/2.
I left the house. So him putting position didn't mean that I left my job as a chef. I left the house on December 2nd.
So you told Officer Ellis that you left your position, but you meant you left the house to go to New York.
So I left for the day. It wasn't that I was saying I quit or saying it in a way that I quit my job. I didn't say that.
You've mentioned Mr. Diggs' assistant, Sunny, a couple of times, right?
Stealing Sunny, yes.
I'm sorry?
Stealing Sunny, that's what he calls her.
Your Honor, I move to strike, and I'd ask that the witness be instructed to please answer a question.
That answer will be certain in the jury's wishes. Again, if you don't, please ask the
Okay.
counsel to restate it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sunny was a friend of yours, wasn't she?
No,
Ms. Adams, you texted Sunny all the time, didn't you?
because that was my contact. Go to contact for payment, go to contact if I didn't have access to his card or I didn't have money on my card to order food. And we would discuss things at work.
I'm going to show you a document. Take a look and see if you can recognize that as text messages between you and Sunny.
Can I see what this is?
Oh, of course. Sorry.
Thank you.
Do you recognize that document as text messages between you and Sunny?
Yes.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Your Honor, may I approach? This document doesn't have numbers on it, so I'm just going to go through. Do you see where the messages start on Thursday, December 11th, 20, at 7:44 a.m.? You see that?
Yes.
And this is an exchange between you and Sunny, right?
Yes.
And you write to her, morning, did you change my door code, right?
Yes.
And that's what you were just talking about. Each door has its own door code in Steph Diggs' home, right?
Yes.
And you were having trouble getting into your door code on December 11th.
Yes.
And had you been having trouble getting into your door code since you got back on the evening of the 9th and 10th?
When I walked in on the night, it pushed right open.
Okay, all right. So it changed in somewhere around there.
When the morning, maybe when I walked out the door, that morning I made breakfast. I'm not mistaken. That's the morning that,
Yeah, ma'am, I'm just gonna stop you because
Okay.
it's not responsive.
all right.
All right. So on December 11th at 7:44, you asked Sunny, did you change my door code? And she says, no, I don't know the code, right?
She doesn't have access to change code.
And she says, Rich, question mark. Who's Rich?
Rich was like somebody that helped around the house.
He was like a maintenance guy,
I don't call him that.
someone to help around the house.
He did a lot of stuff for Mr. Diggs.
Okay.
He was
And
a
he was at the
maintenance
house a
person.
lot, right?
If we need anything, has to do with college.
And you say to Sonny, I asked, he hasn't answered yet. And then you say they changed it, right?
Yes.
Sonny asks, who changed it?
Your Honor, maybe we can see the side plan.
Are we back on life support? Lord have mercy. Hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Okay, he's yawning too. He's like, this is boring. He's also yawning too.
All right, so you say they changed it, right? And Sonny asks, who changed it? And what did you say to Sonny?
He said they. He said they. So
What else did you say to Sonny?
he said, hey, so Steph and the white bitch.
I'm sorry?
What? I said, he said they. So Steph and the white bitch.
When you said, he said they, the he in that sentence was Steph, right?
Yes. No. Yeah. Yes.
And the they, who is that?
Them two together.
So your testimony is, so the white bitch, is that Lindsay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So is that the kind of thing you said to your coworker?
Yes, because she called me a bitch first.
I see. So you were kind of friendly with Sunny.
Yes.
You shared stuff with her.
Sonny disliked her too.
Okay. She shared that.
They had their own thing before I came.
And then if I could ask you to turn to tab D in your binder, which is Exhibit 4. And I'm sorry to do this, but if you could look, the numbers at the bottom right, the number that begins, that ends 178. You there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that text exchange with Sunny, that was at 7:44 a.m. on December 11th.
Yes.
All right. And if you look at these messages on page 178 of Exhibit 4, this blue message at the top is something that you sent on December 11th, 7:52 a.m. Do you see that?
Yes.
And you sent it to Steph.
Yes.
What did you say to Steph?
Did Lindsay change my door code? And why can't I get into my room?
Okay. And then you and Steph kind of have a back and forth about the codes and why can't you get in, right?
Yes.
All right.
I don't remember that. That's not listed here though.
And meanwhile, you're also having a text exchange with Sunny about Steph and the white bitch, right?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Hold up. Oh my God. Hold up. All right, hold up. Let's get through the white noise. Here we go.
Stated at sidebar, the objections stand.
Thank you, Anna. So you and Steph have some back and forth that same morning, December 11th, right? In text message. And he explains to you, if you can turn the page to 2 pages in, page 180. He explains to you, I didn't know if he was going to come back or not, so I had him changed. Right?
If I know why he had the door lock changed.
Is that what he wrote to you on December 11th in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you respond? It's right there on the same page in the blue bubble.
No, it's not.
You see it?
Lord.
Lord. And if you can turn the page, Steph wrote, shit you was saying, it was like it was over with. I was like, well, you understood he was talking about the text fight you had on December 2nd, right?
No.
Yeah. What did you respond to
I
Steph?
said no.
I'm sorry?
I said no. I didn't say yeah.
You didn't understand that he was talking about the last time that you saw each other on December 2nd, which is the day you got in a text fight about Lindsay and you not going to Miami?
Me and Stefon had arguments all the time. Like, not all the time, often. And it would just fly over. But it didn't turn into a fight like it did. I needed to come back to get my things.
Let's see what did you respond to Stefon on December 11th? This is now 9 days after you were assaulted, supposedly.
I was assaulted. It wasn't supposedly.
What did you respond to Steph?
was very emo. Sorry I made you feel that way. I don't want to leave. I want to stay to take care of you as long as I need you.
And you sent him a second message.
Really sorry, Steph.
You were angry with him on December 2nd. You already
I
testified to that.
needed to be nice to Stefon in order to get my pay to leave.
I'm sorry. You were texting.
I needed to be nice to Stefon in order to get my pay to leave.
Let's talk about your pay.
Yes.
You admit that you were apologizing to him about December 2nd, your behavior, don't you?
I was being nice to Stefon to get back in his good graces to get paid.
You were apologizing for your
Not
behavior.
by choice.
You were apologizing to Stefon Diggs by text on December 11th for your behavior on December 2nd.
Not by choice.
Is that a yes?
That's a not by choice.
It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
I don't know what that would be a yes or no question.
It's a yes or no question.
If the witness is saying she can't answer that yes or no, she can have the answer.
Okay. All right, so your claim, I guess, is that Steph owed you money.
It's not a guess. Stefon did back wages.
You were
Wages
paid-
owed.
You were
It was
paid-
wages. I think you should use the correct language.
the correct language
It's
for your
wages.
civil lawsuit.
I don't have a civil lawsuit.
You were paid $2,000 per week to cook for him, right?
Yes.
And if you used your own money to buy groceries, you were reimbursed for that.
Yes.
And when you were hired to work as Steph's chef, you didn't have to fill out a job application, right?
As stated previously, me and Stefon had an interpersonal relationship that was professional.
So is that a no? I did not.
I don't know how to answer that question. Yes
Did
or
you
no.
fill out a job application?
I don't know how to answer that question. Yes or no.
Ma'am, did you fill out a job application?
No.
Yes or
No.
Next question.
You didn't have any employment contract or anything.
Yes, we did.
Did you sign a written employment
We
contract?
had a verbal text contract.
Okay. You didn't have to interview with anyone to get the job, right?
He knew my skills.
So on December 1st, this is the day before you say you were assaulted, you submitted an invoice to be paid, didn't you?
Yes.
And can you explain to the jury, so weren't just automatically paid?
I was supposed to be. They sent maybe 2 automatic payments, and then the rest was I would have to go through Sunny.
Right. You'd have to confirm with Sunny you worked that week, right?
I would have to not that confirm. I lived there, so it was never a confirmation.
She was there a lot too, right?
No,
Okay. So you did have to confirm with Sunny if you worked there or not.
not that I worked. I had to confirm with Sunny my reimbursements. I lived there.
And on December 1st, what you did was you took an invoice for money you claimed you were owed, right?
It's not a claim. It's money that I was owed.
You submitted an invoice on December 1st for payment, right?
I don't recall. I don't know the exact date.
Have you seen this document before?
Yes,
It's an email dated December 4th, 2025 from Melissa
I
Goddard.
saw that in a text screenshot. That email that Melissa has of mine was not working at the time. This was a screenshot that Stefon sent me. I never received this email.
Okay. This is an email from Melissa Goddard.
I never received it to my email.
Did you see the text of this message before?
I seen a screenshot similar. I
You
can't
know.
recall
You know
the
you
exact
have.
message.
Would you like me to give you a document to
Sure.
refresh you?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. I am, if you want to give the jury a break, it's just going to take me a couple of minutes.
Why don't we just take a 5-minute break?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just stuck on these time.
All right, jurors can step down.
Are we back on life support? Hold up, y'all, because my camera battery is like dying and it does this freezing thing. So, I'm looking at the clock. Oh, wait. Are we live support? We're not muted. Oh, hold up. She stepped out. Okay. All right. They stepped out. A couple minutes break, whatever. Dang, this really they took a lot of breaks. Here it is.
Form. If you can turn the page, did you see the invoice?
Yes.
And that was your invoice, right?
Yes.
And you said on that invoice dated December 1st, right?
Yes.
That you were owed payment of $2,000 for three weeks in November, right?
Yes.
And you were owed grocery reimbursement for $3,179.06, right?
Yes.
And that was what you submitted to get payment.
Yes.
Oh,
And you
damn.
said you didn't receive this email, but you remembered getting it.
$3,000 for groceries? I mean, I know like it's hard out here, but $3,000 for groceries? Lord have mercy. That's a lot. Okay, let me keep playing.
By text message, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so you have read and you remember seeing the substance of this email, true?
Yes.
Okay. And this is a response to your invoice, right?
I don't recall because Stefon was refusing to pay me for the week he sent me home.
Well, Melissa Goddard writes on December 4th. I appreciate you may not have received this on December 4th, but she writes, "Thank you for providing an invoice. I've attached a readable PDF." Yeah.
Are we back on the white noise? Hold up, yeah, I'm fixing my camera. Oh my god. Hold up. Let me move on.
Yes.
Dated December 9, 2025.
Yes.
And you're the person in the bubbles on the left.
Yes.
And you write to Sunny, "Hey, so I looked over my transfers, payment history, and they sent payments 11/7 and 11/21, totaling $4,000. See that?
Yes.
So you knew that you had actually been paid for 2 of those 3 weeks that you tried to get paid for again, right?
What's your name? I never got your name.
Did you know
I
that
don't
you
know.
had
I
been
was trying to address you by your name because I'm not this.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Is she accusing her of double dipping without really accusing her of double dipping? Because I'm literally hearing that. Like, am I hearing? That's what she's implying, that she's like double dipping. Like, you submitted that thing twice. Is that correct? Lord have mercy. Is it just me who heard that? Sister Craft, thank you so much for renewing your membership. Shout out to you. I didn't miss you. Sorry. Okay. I just, because sometimes my ears deceive me, but I feel like she just accused her of double dipping.
Correctly.
You knew on December 9th that you had been paid for 2 of the 3 weeks you said you hadn't been paid for, didn't you?
I don't understand the question.
You just acknowledged you wrote it to Sunny.
I was supposed to be paid for the week I was sent home. So
Okay.
I sent the incorrect amount because I didn't know he wasn't paying me for that week.
Right. So you sought $6,000 instead of $2,000.
That's my calculations was
Right. And so that last week, that was a week you didn't work, right?
because I was sent home.
Right. So you weren't in the kitchen cooking.
Mr. Diggs sent me home because he had girls at
Ma'am,
the house.
Whatever you're going to
I
add
should
is
be
not
paid.
responsive,
I'm
Your Honor.
Yes. It's down to, I'm still understanding the question you're being asked.
I don't
Answer
understand.
her question. Answer Attorney Stone's question, all right? Yeah. If it's confusing to you, she will restate it. Counsel, you restate your question.
Yes. So you weren't in the kitchen cooking that week, right?
No.
Okay. If you can turn back to tab D, the page that ends 171, this is exhibit 4. It has been marked and admitted into evidence. Let me know when you get there.
Indeed.
You there?
Mhm.
So these are both, on this page, these are both blue bubbles. So this is your text messages, right?
Yeah.
All right. And on December 9th, 2025 at 2:27, you text Steph Diggs, right?
Yes.
And what do you say to Steph Diggs on December 9th? Do you need help finding it?
What's last?
171. I can help you find it.
I said, can she call?
I'm sorry, the second text message.
Read the second text message
Yes, please.
without reading the
You
messages
can read the
before?
first and we can talk about who you're asking about. That's fine.
I was told to contact Melissa about my pay.
Okay.
So I responded, can she call me or can I call her?
And Melissa, just to the record's clear, is Melissa Goddard, right?
Yes,
She's Steph Diggs' bookkeeper.
that's what I was told.
She's the person who wrote that email on December 4th informing you that you had been already paid for 2 of the 3 weeks you were looking for, right?
I didn't receive that email.
Understood. So you were asking if she could call you or you could call her, right?
I was told to
You were
reach out
told
to
you
her.
could talk to her, right?
Yes,
And you never called her, did you?
yes, I did.
What did you say in the second
I
text?
asked him for the number.
I'm sorry. And
I
what
asked him for Miss Melissa Goddard's number.
the number is right on the email that you got in text form.
But that was later time.
This was December 4th. The email is from December 4th. The text message you're about to read is 5 days later, December 9th.
What I'm trying to say to you is that text message was sent at a later date to me.
On December 9th, you acknowledged to Sunny that you knew you had been overpaid. I'm sorry.
Overpaid?
I'm sorry.
Underpaid.
You knew that 4 of the $6,000 you were seeking, you had already received. And the last week that you hadn't been paid for was the week you weren't there. And now if you can read this text message that you sent to Steph Diggs on that same day, December 9th.
Hi. So I looked over the payments. Are you not paying me for the week you told me to go home? If not, that's fine. And just for my past employers, when I'm asked not to work, I'm still paid because I'm only with them for the season. It was supposed to say them. It said the season.
So that takes care of all of the weeks that you said you weren't paid for on December 1st, right?
The weeks that I sent to him calculated was adding in that week.
2 weeks you had already been paid for. 1 week you didn't work, and you told Steph on December 9th, if you don't want to pay that, that's fine. Right?
Yes.
All right. You also sought $3,179.06 in reimbursement for money you claimed you spent on groceries.
Yes.
That was on December 1st.
That's the day I sent the email.
Okay.
The text to Sunny.
And
Please turn off all phones.
Girl, who brought a cell phone to the court?
you knew that you needed to submit receipts to justify that level of expense on groceries.
That's what I did. Yes.
Is your testimony here under oath that you submitted receipts justifying $3,179.06 spent on groceries out of your money?
It was messed up. Was off. Something was off. Some receipts were the wrong receipt and we cleared it up.
So something was messed up about that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You talked about an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Melissa asked you to return an NDA, right?
No.
I'm sorry?
No. Sunny asked me.
You received an email from Melissa Goddard on December 13th, right?
Melissa and Sunny, I was having problems with the email, the same email.
Yes or no question, yeah.
I can't answer that correctly.
Mayor Pro Chandler. You recognize that as an email you received from Melissa Goddard on December 13th?
Yes.
And the subject line is NDA payment?
Yes.
She tells you she's Melissa, Mr. Diggs' bookkeeper, right?
Yes.
So you hadn't talked to her before December 13th because she's introducing herself right now.
Yes.
Okay. She says, please return the completed NDA provided to you by Sunny to this email address, right?
Yes.
This is required for employment with Mr. Diggs or any of his entities, right?
Yes.
Sunny has an NDA, doesn't she?
I'm not sure.
You don't know?
I don't talk to Sunny about her business with Mr. Diggs.
You had some text messages with Mr. Diggs on December 13th, right after you got that email, didn't you?
I don't recall the date. I would like to see.
Let's go back to Exhibit 4. It's tab D, page 195. Let me know when you're there, please. You there?
Like the way she turns
Again,
that
speaking
page.
Text bubble right here at the top, that's from you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you write to Steph on December 13, 2025, you sitting here playing in my face. It's 700 some comments and none saying you effing Lindsay. Not a one. So if I told someone that, why it's not in a blog, you're still talking about that blog, that anonymous blog that caused you to get mad at Steph on December 2nd, right? When he chose to believe Lindsay over you. I'll clarify. Thank you, Mr. Virtue. On December 13th, you're still mad about the issue that led to Steph believing Lindsay over you.
From my recollection, he didn't.
I'm sorry. On December 13th,
I can't answer that question correctly without the previous text from Mr. Diggs.
you write not a one. So if I told someone that, why it's not in a blog? You believe it and now sign an NDA. Send me my money. You sitting here playing in my face. Isn't that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. You were mad about the NDA because you thought you had to sign it because Steph believed you leaked something, right?
Yes.
Didn't have anything to do with an assault.
What did you say? I don't understand the
You
question.
thought the fact that you were being asked to sign an NDA was an indication that Stefon still didn't trust you,
No.
right?
No.
But you're talking about Lindsay and a blog to him the same day you get an email from Melissa asking you to sign an NDA, right?
Stefon knew that. I know.
Yes
so
or no
I
question,
can't
ma'am.
answer that question without explaining.
If I told someone that why it's not in a blog, you believe it and now sign an NDA. Those are your words, right?
It was now signing day after you assault me. I had information on you,
You didn't
and you
say
think I
any-
was leaving.
Ma'am, it's not responsive. You didn't say anything about an assault when you talked about an NDA, did you?
It does not change the fact that I was assaulted.
You talked about Lindsay in a blog and he
It
believed
does not
Lindsay.
change the fact I was assaulted.
The first time you connected an NDA with an assault was when you went in to talk to Officer Ellis on December 16th to make a police report, right?
Yes, because I noticed the behavior.
And that was the same officer that you didn't need to be honest with about some of the details about your relationship with Steph, what happened on December 2nd, when you left your position, why you went back to his house on December 9th. True?
I don't understand the question. Can you repeat it?
All of those things that you said to Officer Ellis on December 16th were not true. You had a fight with Stefon Diggs on December 2nd over text about Lindsay and a blog and him believing Lindsay. Not about money, right?
It was about money. The last text that I sent to Mr. Diggs was about money.
It's a bit of a compound question.
Yes.
It's true, Your Honor. I will. Let's turn back to the text messages between you and Steph after you sent that text message to him on the 13th, connecting the NDA with Steph's believing Lindsay.
I didn't say believe in Lindsay.
You and Stefon got in another text argument about that issue, right? And if you could turn to page 201. The green bubble is Stefon, right?
Yes.
And he writes to you on December 13th. Here you go. Don't worry about Melissa, and you don't got to worry about working moving forward. I never told nobody not to pay you. They said you owed money. You knew that, right?
No.
You knew that Melissa calculated the receipts that you submitted and determined that you had been overpaid, didn't you?
No.
Okay. They said you owed money, says Steph to you on December 13th. Here go that bread you was supposedly owed, I guess. That's what he said to you, right?
Yes.
And he Apple paid you $2,000, didn't he?
Yes.
And then he left another $2,000 on the stair railing in his home for you.
And that was for the week that I was there.
That was for the week of December 9th when you worked, right? And he asked you 3 times in your text message, what else do I owe you? And you never gave him a number, did you?
I said they owe me grocery. I had given Sonny the grocery reimbursement, the person that was my contact for giving receipts to.
I thought you just testified there was a mix-up with the numbers.
Yes, but I had talked to her about that. We had came up with the exact numbers after she added up the receipts.
You understood that Steph fired you that day, right?
I was leaving.
Okay. But you waited until he told you you don't have to work here anymore, and he paid you $4,000.
I came back for my money because I didn't have money to leave,
So the record's clear. You came back on December 9th.
to get my money that I was owed.
You worked. And then on December 13th, Steph told you you didn't need to work there anymore, right?
I'd already had in my mind that I was quitting. I just came back to get my money.
You were furious with Steph on December 13th, weren't you?
No,
No?
No.
Do you remember that Shy Charles was actually at Steph's house that day?
yes,
And she was braiding his hair,
yes,
and she was staying downstairs. She was going to stay overnight.
yes,
And she finished braiding his hair around midnight.
yes,
And then you came down from your room to talk to Shy.
yes.
And you did that because she was your friend.
My coworker, we were cool.
And she's the person you spent that week in New York with. December 2nd, the day you were supposedly assaulted, until December 9th, when you came back to the Dedham house, right? And you sat with Shy and you talked to her until 3 a.m, didn't you?
Yes,
You told her you were finished with Steph Diggs, didn't you?
I told her in the middle of the week I was coming back to get my money, and I was trying not to be there when she came to braid his hair.
You made Shy a kind of confession in that conversation, didn't you?
A kind of confession?
Yeah. You told her Steph was going to pay.
No, I did not. I do not recall.
I'm going to remind you you're under oath, and I'll ask you that question again. Did you or did you not sit with Shy Charles on December 13th, a few hours after you were fired from your job, and tell Shy that Steph Diggs was going to pay?
No,
Did you tell Shy you were going to sue Stefon?
no,
So after you were fired on the 13th, you stayed in the house, I think you said 2 more days, right?
I wasn't fired.
After Steph Diggs told you you didn't need to work there anymore and paid you all the money
That day you went back.
that you claimed you were owed, you stayed in the house for 2 more days, right?
I had to get a plane ticket and I had to find somewhere to stay.
Okay. And then when you left his house, you went to the Dedham police station.
No,
Went to the Dedham police station on December 16th.
I left his house on the 15th.
You testified, and on your direct examination, you left on the 16th.
I left Stefon's house on the 15th. I went to the Dedham police station on the 16th.
Okay. And you told them he'd assaulted you 14 days before.
On December the 2nd.
And you had to pick a day that was long enough ago that it would explain why you didn't have any injuries, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
Part of the lesson you were going to teach Steph was to make a false police report. Is that true?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, I'll ask a different question. Your report that you made, it's missing a lot of detail. Would you agree?
Yes, I was afraid to tell the relationship between me and Stefon Diggs.
It's missing more than that.
No,
Right.
it's not.
In your opinion, it isn't. Okay.
It's missing more of the text that was shared in the morning.
Okay.
It would have exposed a lot of things, and I still was trying to protect him and myself.
You actually recanted your own statements, didn't you?
No, I can't.
So you know the criminal complaint in this case issued on December 29th. Right? You know,
What? No, I don't know that.
you're the complainant in the case. Is it your testimony you weren't notified that this case was going to be brought forward to court?
I don't recall.
It was big news.
I don't. No one reached to me that I recollect.
You reached out to Steph's girlfriend at the time after this complaint was made public, right?
Because in the police report, I had not listened to the voice note. I just read the voice note. I was afraid she knew. I was afraid.
Ma'am, it's a yes or no question.
I can't answer that question.
After this complaint became public on December 29th, you reached out to Steph's girlfriend, didn't you?
I can't recall the date, but yes.
Yeah, go, Jen.
Counsel, actually, it was,
We're back on life support. Hold up. I don't think we're on life support too long because this ends. By the way, they do have a verdict. We have a verdict now. So, yes, thank you for coming in and letting us know. We're well aware. Yes, guys, we have. Now, my question to you guys is, do we finish the today's hearing and then to make sense of the verdict, or do we just say, all right, verdict's here, no need? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Not to discuss this case with anyone, including your fellow jurors, family members.
Okay, they end here. What should we do?
You're not allowing them to discuss.
The jury's get that. So this was yesterday. The jury got the instructions. Should we move on to the witnesses? I understand we have a verdict. Yes. But what do y'all want to do? You said, oh, good. Yes. Finish. Haven't seen all of it. Okay. She's just okay. So this is yesterday. The judge is telling them, y'all have a good night. Jury, give them instructions. And now this is today. But for the record, they have reached a verdict. So I'm going to do my best because we've been streaming for a couple hours, but we go check through. And I don't even think it's that long today. I think it was like maybe they were there for an hour and 30, if that. But they did reach a verdict. And he is basically cleared of everything, just so people are aware.
When you say you get dressed in front of each other,
Yeah.
did you actually
Ooh, did it really start this way? This is really the start. Yep.
see Ms. Adams without clothes on as you were getting dressed?
With a towel on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you observe any bruising, redness on
No.
her neck or chest?
No,
Did you observe anything on her face?
no.
I'm going to ask Ms. Silva if we can actually play the third video. And so I'm going to pause it right there and just ask you, so this image, is that a fair and accurate representation of how Miss Adams looked that day on December 3rd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Video kind of.
Do y'all agree? What if we could finish it? That's fine. Or we could just go straight to the closing arguments. Maybe I'll do a poll and you guys vote.
Depicts how she looks.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Silva. Anytime the day of December 3rd, did you notice bruising, developing, redness, any kind of physical marks on Miss Adams?
No.
On December 4th, 5th, 6th, did you notice any of that?
No.
Did Miss Adams ever tell you that she had been assaulted or strangled?
No.
Did she ever mention any kind of an attack?
No.
Do you remember when she left?
I can't give you the exact date, but probably like somewhere between the 9th, 10th, or 11th, either one of those dates.
Okay. And after Miss Adams left, actually, let me back up, strike that. So if she got there on December 2nd, and she left on the 9th, 10th, or 11th, is it fair to say she was down there for a week, maybe a little bit more?
Yeah.
All right. After she left, did you see her again?
Yeah, I saw afterwards.
Soon afterwards? Where was that?
In Boston.
And in Boston, where were you?
Where was I in Boston?
Yeah.
At the house in Dedham.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah.
I understand. So you saw her again at the house in Dedham?
Yeah.
And when was that?
Probably the 13th. Yeah, the 12th or the 13th, because I had to go do his hair.
Okay. What was there some sort of time sensitive?
Gotcha. You said that this is not Rabbit. This is at the start of the day. Today, the victim cross-examination continued this morning and supposedly got heated. Dang, I missed it. Well, let me go. Let me go see if I can find it.
Sure about doing his hair?
Because he had to leave to go to Miami, so I had to go do his hair. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to do his hair. Probably had a game. He probably had a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me back up. Miss Adams leaves New York.
Yeah.
9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And your testimony was that you said it was on the 13th. You saw her again?
Yeah. Either 12, 13, 14, somewhere there. I'm not good with dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was
At the house in Dedham.
all right.
Yeah.
What were you doing in the house in Dedham?
I had to do his hair.
Who was in the house in Dedham?
His mom.
Let me stop right here. It's actually this one right here. Here it is. So this was live too. It's Associated Press. So these are the witnesses, and it keeps going. Yep. And then they stop. Hold up. See, she's there. One of the witnesses. Let me see how far it keeps going. She's another witness. Stand by. Whoa, they were really okay. And closing arguments are right at 3 hours and 29. But let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. There's no poll. Y'all don't see a poll? Okay, hold up. Because I see it. No, there's a poll. Hold up. I just had to remove it because of the comment. Give me 1 second. Hold up. There it is. There's the poll. Closing arguments. This is the go vote for day 2. The poll is on the screen, guys. It tells you, poll, should we listen to the entire day 2 closing arguments or verdict read? Press 1 if you want the entire day 2. Press 2 if you want closing arguments. And press 3 if nothing. The poll is on the screen. Look at the screen. It's on the screen. It's not a regular YouTube poll. All right. First, somebody says the entire day 2. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to entire day 2. We're going to chuck through. I might have to be in and out because I got baby bunny, all right? But we going to do it. So, yeah. So let's go ahead. It starts right over here, actually. And we're going to do 1.25. I think it's been pretty cool to do it that way. Let's go.
If they deleted it and you looked at the screen, no, you'd have to go to the menu and look at recently deleted.
I may have one moment, Your Honor. Just a few more questions, Judge Apologist. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Perry, to turn to Exhibit 4. That's marked D. And I only got a couple questions for you on this. So I'm going to ask you to turn to the page that is marked 182, bottom right corner.
Okay.
All right. And so fair to say there's a message there that in the bottom left corner says, reacted to, all good. You know, I try not to make things bigger than what they are. You got your own life and things you deal with. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. So going to the time in the bottom right corner of that message, it says 12/11/2025, 8:37, 21 seconds a.m. UTC -5. Can you explain what that means time-wise?
Yes. So this is UTC -5, which means it's Eastern time because it's in December. So it's Eastern time zone. And what that means is for this report, after I preserve the phone, I load it into the application, my forensic application, and it parses the data that I extracted from the phone, and it recognizes that it looks like this phone is in Eastern time zone. Would you like me to translate the timestamps into that? And for this one, I hit yes. And so it's giving us a timestamp that's translated to Eastern time where the phone was used. The other report, I must have hit no for that, and it was just UTC.
Okay. And so Exhibit 3.
They're talking about the evidence. Can y'all hear me? Let me know. Yeah, like this is like the nuances of the evidence. I kind of just want to go to the testimony of it. I don't see the first part. I don't know where it's at. So these are the tech people that collect the evidence, and they're talking about the evidence, that they're just validating it of how they collected it and everything. So they're being questioned. Yeah, it's like the tech guy, kind of like how Diddy, they had their AFTs, they had different people, and whatnot. Yeah, but I don't think I can wait, Phoenix. So I guess the victim didn't finish her what is it, cross-examination today, but I don't see anywhere that they have it quite yet up. They kind of cut it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump over the tech people, because I'm like, this isn't really relevant. I mean, for the purposes of, I just want to hear what's going on. Now, is this the girl that they say that he slept with? What is going on? Because there was a girl. Apparently she was mad. There was a girl, you guys remember? Slept with, not slept with? I don't know. You said, hold up, cop or not cop? I think he's the tech guy who collects the evidence. This is the girl? This girl or the other girl? Sorry, guys. I am jumping around because I have to take some medicine because I feel like crap now. I can feel a decline.
That's called Juliana Stratati.
So so this one's Juliana, okay? This is the girl the girl that works with him too? Let me see. Is this his employee?
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. Could you please state your name for the record and spell your last name for the jury?
My name is Juliana Stratoti, Stratoti.
Are you from Massachusetts?
Yes.
What do you do for work?
I'm a registered nurse.
Where do you work?
Full time, I work at Mass General Hospital, and then I have a side, a per diem job at the Drip Bar.
What is the Drip Bar?
Drip Bar is a wellness and hydration service. It's a franchise, but we have a location in Foxborough.
And so what do you do as a nurse for the Drip Bar?
Provide like wellness services, hydration, like extra therapy for people that you don't get prescribed, like at a hospital or through your primary care physician.
Does some of that involve making house calls?
Yes.
On December 2nd, 2025, did you do some kind of treatment, a house call that afternoon?
I did.
And
Okay,
where was that?
hold up.
At Mr. Diggs' house.
Right.
All right, so all these people are just kind of like the witnesses to what happened. Now, let me say this. I did just see, but it's not in the live feed. I hear what you're saying, Phoenix, but it's not in the live feed. So she did finish her cross-examination. Maybe we could watch that, and then we'll jump over to closing arguments. Can we agree to that? Let me know. Can we agree to that? Because this is becoming a little too long. So let's go ahead and finish her cross today, and then we'll just jump over to what is it? What's it called? Closing. Okay, deal? Can we do that? The verdict is already in. Let's go. So this is her finishing her cross.
Just reminder.
Just a reminder that you're still under oath.
Okay.
And Ms. Adams, again, as of the same as yesterday, if you could do your best to keep your voice up, that is appreciated.
Yes.
Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Adams, on January 1st, 2026, you sent Steph's girlfriend a text message that later appeared on TMZ's website, correct?
Yes.
And in that text message, you told Steph's girlfriend that you were so sorry, but you couldn't talk to her, right?
Yes.
And you told Steph's girlfriend in that text message, I didn't say that, especially in the way it was written.
Yes.
Right? And you were talking about the statement that you made to the Dedham police, right?
It was a voicemail, and I didn't listen. I read the transcript, so I didn't know her voice.
When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026.
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I haven't finished the question. When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026, in a written text message, I didn't say that, you were referring to the statements that were reported in the press that you gave to the Dedham Police Department, correct?
I don't understand your question.
Did you or did you not write those words?
I don't understand your question. Without further explaining.
You can't testify under oath to this jury what you meant by the words you wrote to Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question without further explaining.
You also asked Steph's girlfriend to, quote, please call my mediator and she will answer everything you need to know, but only in person and confidentially, right?
Yes.
Your mediator's name is Lynette Marie, right?
Lynette Marie.
Thank you. She's also known as Lynette Marie Turner.
I don't know.
You don't know your mediator's last name?
I don't know her. She's married. I don't know her exact last name.
Your mediator works for a company called LMT Global, correct?
Yes, that's her company.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
I'm showing you a corporate document from the state of Michigan. It is an amended annual report filed by LMT Global Corporation. Can you please read the name of the president of that company?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sidebar.
We live support again. see. Live support. Here we go.
Your mediator, Lynette Marie, issued a money demand to Stefon Diggs on December 29th, the day the criminal complaint in this case issued, right?
I'm not sure of the date.
Well, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do you recognize this email from L. Marie on December 29, 2025 to Stefon Diggs and a number of other people?
No, I don't recognize it.
You've never seen this money demand before?
I seen the money demand after that's it. I don't recognize the email.
Testimony under oath is that your mediator made a money demand on December 29th for money for you from Mr. Diggs.
Money for past
The
wages.
same day the criminal complaint in this case issued, and you didn't see it?
I can't answer that question.
I'm sorry?
I can't answer that question without explaining further.
You can't answer that question under oath.
Without explaining.
Your mediator demanded $19,000 on that date, didn't she?
For wages owed, yes.
Your Honor, I move to strike that.
Overruled. Answer stands.
Sorry?
Answer stands.
Thank you, Your Honor. You've made another money demand in this case, haven't you? Actually, before we get there, the
I didn't get a
$19,000.
chance to answer the question.
Before we get there,
Are you withdrawing your
yes,
question,
the
counsel?
question is withdrawn. Thank you, Your Honor. After a money demand for $19,000 was provided to Stefon Diggs, on February 13th, you issued a public statement, didn't you?
Yes.
And in that public statement, you said, I have never sought money to settle this matter, right?
I haven't.
And by the middle of April, you had hired a lawyer to represent you, right?
For workers' comp.
That's a yes or no question, ma'am.
Yes, for workers' comp.
Your Honor, may the witness be instructed to please answer the questions posed.
Witness answered your question.
All right. And for workers' comp, the lawyer you hired, is she sitting in this room right now?
Yes.
And she helped you prepare for your testimony in this case, right?
She came to support me.
She came to the meeting with the Commonwealth's lawyer to help prepare you for your testimony in this case, correct?
I don't know how to answer that question.
You can't answer that question under oath, ma'am?
No,
You met with the prosecutor last Thursday, right? With your lawyer,
I was
right?
told to have a lawyer because you guys asked me to plead the fifth on some things. So I was instructed to have my lawyer come.
So your testimony under oath is that the Commonwealth's attorney instructed you to bring your private lawyer?
Or a lawyer that you guys offered a lawyer. So I brought my private lawyer.
I'm sorry, when you say you guys, do you mean me, defense counsel for Mr. Diggs?
Yes.
Is your testimony under oath that I had some role in your preparation session with the district attorney's office to prepare you for your testimony in this case?
I was told that the defense said I needed to have a lawyer or they were going to provide a lawyer, something in that context about pleading the fifth about messages. So I brought my lawyer, which was when I walked to the side of the judge yesterday.
Your personal lawyer is here today, correct?
The workers' comp.
She's with the law firm of Boston Law. That's a law firm here in Dorchester, Massachusetts.
Ma'am, I think that was, I apologize, but you do need to keep your voice up. I don't know if you're going
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Tell the jury how much I think you described her as a workers' comp lawyer.
I got her because I was injured on the job and I needed to file a workers' comp case. Stefon Diggs did not have proper workers' and comp insurance.
The final portion of that answer will be stricken and you will disregard it. Ms. Adams, if you could just listen to the question, answer the question, and if you need it rephrased, counsel will certainly rephrase it for you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. 3 weeks ago, your lawyer demanded $5.5 million from Mr. Diggs, didn't he?
Mr. Diggs offered me $100,000 to recant my statement.
That is a yes.
That is the
Your Honor,
only.
Maybe be heard at sidebar, please.
Yes, I moved this right. The last part of the witness's answer. The last part of the witness's response will be stricken as non-responsive. You will disregard it and you will not consider it during your deliberations. tell them that as well. But courtrooms function and especially trials, unfold in a question and answer format. This is not an opportunity for you to interject your own narrative and evade responding to questions the court deems appropriate. And if you continue to do so, your entire testimony may be stricken. Am I clear?
Yes.
On the jurors.
All rise, jurors entering. You may be seated.
Jurors, at this point, I just want to be clear on one point, all right? And it's the following. You may not consider anything you heard that was stricken from the record. When an answer is stricken from the record, it does not exist. And in determining what the facts are from this case, you're sworn to determine those facts solely and exclusively from the evidence presented, and you may not consider any answer that I have stricken, all right? Thank you. You may proceed. Thank you, counsel.
Ms. Adams, 3 weeks ago, your lawyer demanded $5.5 million from Stefon Diggs, correct?
That is client lawyer privilege. I cannot speak on that.
You believe that your lawyer's communications to Stefon Diggs are covered by your attorney-client privilege, ma'am?
I can't answer that question. I don't know the answer to that question.
You know that someone on your behalf has demanded $5.5 million from Stefon Diggs, don't you?
I have a workers' comp claim, and
Your Honor?
I explore all civil options.
Ma'am,
I don't understand.
are
the
you
question.
able to
Sorry.
answer
No.
that question?
No, I'm
Counsel,
not
restate
able
the
to.
question, please.
You know that someone on your behalf has demanded $5.5 million from Stefon Diggs.
Do you know that, Ms. Adams?
No, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer the question. I don't understand.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, before we direct, may we be heard at sidebar?
Of course, thank you.
Oh, here we go again. Bloop, bloop. All right, hurry up, hurry up. Here we go. Here we go.
Please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday, defense counsel showed you a form about that you filled out to the police,
Yes.
and they made a point that you're the hand, but not the forearm and elbow. May I approach? I'm putting a form in front of you. If you could just take a look at that and look up that. You recognize it?
Yes.
And I may direct the witness's attention. Could you read right here when it says the expected injury? Or
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
is there anywhere on that form where you do note the forearm and forearm being used to choke you?
Objection.
Yes.
Sidebar.
Bloop. Hurry up. What in the white noise? Here we go, finally.
On cross, I believe there's some questions about the text messages leading up to the assault.
Yes.
And, do you have still a binder in front of you?
Yes.
Do you mind opening to section 3 and to pages ending in 114?
Listen, we object. We object. This is too much.
Okay.
Would you mind reading the text messages from page 114 to 117?
And I'm running that bitch life. The next text message doesn't say anything. I won't be paying you shit.
Would you mind just saying who's saying it?
Okay, I said the first. I and running that bitch life is what I said. Mr. Diggs said, I won't be paying you shit. Fuck, I look like paying you and paying another chef. Is you high, bitch? Who the fuck give you money for your business? Who the fuck gotta give you money for your business? I don't gotta do a motherfucking thing. And you can get whoever you want. You got my address. Tell them to come take the money then. Fuck you talking about. I said bet. Pussy. I said pussy. Show me I'm pussy. Will do.
That's all.
That's it.
In your experience as a personal chef, is it common practice that when chefs get sent away, they get paid for the week that they get sent away?
Yes.
Objection.
Because that's the only job I have.
And I know on Prosecutor came out that you made a public statement where you said, I have never sought money to settle this case. When you said this case, was that referring to the criminal case? Or?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
Go ahead.
That series of text messages that you just read, that was in response to you saying after you were fired by Mr. Diggs, you will be paying me out for the season and the money. I'm sorry, and this is on page 113 of Exhibit 3. You will be paying me out for the season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my fucking time being here because you got a fucking circus going on, right?
Yes.
So when he said he wouldn't be paying you, he was referring to your demand that after you leave your employment on December 2nd, he nonetheless continued to pay you $2,000 a week for the rest of the New England Patriots football season while you were not working for him, right?
That's not how it goes.
You will be paying me out for the season, right?
I was a contracted employee.
It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
I don't know how to answer that question. Sorry.
And before you said that, if you turn just one page back to page 112, what Mr. Diggs said to you that you were responding to was, I'm gonna leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me for this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got to this. That's what you were responding to when you told him he would be paying you out for the season, right?
No, it's a full context of those messages.
Ma'am, was the message that came from Mr. Diggs that preceded your demand that you be paid out for the season, thank you for cooking for me this season. I appreciate you. I'ma leave you be.
Can you say that again?
You can look right down there on page 112. I'ma leave you be.
What was your question?
I'm not finished. Thank you for cooking for me for this season. You can read along and correct me if I get it wrong. I appreciate you. Hate it even got like this, right?
That's what it says, yes.
Okay. And you were really hoping that Mr. Diggs would give you some money so you could open your own restaurant, weren't you?
Objection.
That was our agreement.
That was what you wanted him to give you, right?
That was an agreement.
Ma'am, is this a contract suit?
Objection.
This is an assault.
That objection is sustained. Witness doesn't have to answer.
Withdrawn, Your Honor. Thank you.
There's no question in front of the witness.
You wanted him to pay you to open your own restaurant, right?
I want him to pay me past wages.
Okay. Just one moment, Your Honor, please. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else?
No redirect, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
Commonwealth follows Kenneth Hillis of the Devon Police.
All right. Moving on to closing arguments. Y'all ready? Okay. Here we go, because I got it right at the timestamp. Oh my God. Thoughts, opinions? You she is something else, man. She are y'all surprised by the verdict that we know so far? Let's get into closing arguments.
The attorneys from making certain types of arguments.
All right, hurry up.
Persuade you to
The
reach
judge's
a
mic is low.
result or to favor or disfavor either side. For example, the attorneys are not.
All right, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, judge. Shout out to the judge. Here it is.
You must put those.
As I said to you in my opening statement, there was no assault, no strangulation, no incident at all on that day or any other day. You didn't see any injuries. You didn't see any photographs. You learned there were no medical records, no statements, no nothing between December 2nd and December 16th. You have not been provided with a single shred of credible evidence to determine that any assault actually occurred in the house on that day. The Commonwealth's case is nothing more than the words of Miss Adams. In my opening statement, I told you one tool to use as you go through this process is to consider how to find the truth. That the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts, that answer is the truth. And so what I want to do is take you through some of the undisputed facts in this case. December 2nd, Ms. Adams spent the afternoon talking on the phone. She got a ticket to Atlanta. She cooked Stefon Diggs dinner. We learned this morning that it was a hot dog. She went into Mr. Diggs's bedroom to provide him birthday presents and to deliver those birthday presents. Timeline-wise, all of this, every single fact that I just mentioned, all of those would have occurred after what Miss Adams says was a violent assault that occurred sometime that afternoon. That night, Miss Adams left the house at 7:15 and she flew to New York City. You heard that she told the police that she stayed with friends. You heard her describe whose friends they were. But you also heard her say that she had a ticket to Atlanta, purchased before she ever changed it to go to New York City. You saw videos of Miss Adams when she arrived in New York. You heard from the woman who picked her up from the airport, who also saw Miss Adams when she arrived in New York. You saw video and heard from Tali Moses, who spent the entire week with Miss Adams in New York. And you got to see how she looked. You got to see her face. You got to see her neck. You got to see the way she moved during the course of that week. One thing I'll say about that, Miss Adams, she might define bruising, however, is expedient or convenient for her, but we all know what bruising looks like. You saw the videos and you heard from the witnesses. On December 5th, Ms. Adams texted Stefon Diggs, "Hi, can you please approve my pay with finance, please and thank you." That would have been 2.5 days after he violently strangled her in her bedroom. December 6th, you saw the video of her dancing. That's 3.5 days after this assault allegedly occurred. You heard that throughout the course of that week, from December 2nd to December 9th, Ms. Adams didn't mention a single thing about any assault to anyone. The one thing you heard her mention was on the afternoon of December 2nd, she told Shy she wasn't going to Miami. You heard that on December 9th, she went back to the house. And I told you the details were going to be important about her going back to the house in my opening statement. She got back to the house at 11:30 p.m. alone and walked into the house. And what did she do? She didn't just go to Stefon Diggs's bedroom door and knock on it. She tried to punch in the code, and it didn't work. And those are her words. That's what she told you. None of that is consistent with a violent assault having occurred the last time they interacted with one another. Not one piece of that. And those are undisputed facts. On December 11th, Miss Adams texted Mr. Diggs her apology. She said she was sorry she was being emo, and she didn't want him to feel that way. She didn't want him to think she was trying to quit her job. And she told you she was trying to keep her job. She was trying to get back. She also told the police 5 days later, that she had quit her job on December 2nd. We know that that was a lie. Not just from the fact that she actually told you that that was a lie, but from the actual evidence that you have in this case that is undisputed. that evidence goes on. She told Mr. Diggs's girlfriend that she didn't say any of that to the police, meaning what she told the police, that she didn't accuse Mr. Diggs of assault. And that wasn't true. She also, a month later, told the world that she had never demanded money. And that also wasn't true. Now, more undisputed facts. Miss Adams was paid for November. At first, she didn't admit that. She ended up saying they worked it out. She got paid for 2-3 weeks. And we actually got an answer today on why she wasn't paid for a full month. Because she was in Tobago with Shy Charles. You heard from Melissa Goddard. Miss Adams was paid up. The non-disclosure agreement. Miss Goddard talked to you about that. And you heard about that from Miss Adams. I want you to look at the text message in Exhibit 4. It's on page 195. We talked about it a little bit yesterday afternoon. But this is another undisputed fact, and it's very important. Because despite what Miss Adams told the police on December 16th and told you at times yesterday, on December 13th, 2025, Miss Adams says what she thinks the NDA is about. And she says, you sitting here playing in my face, 700 comments. If I told someone why it's not in the blog, you believe it, meaning Mr. Diggs, and now sign an NDA. Send me my money. You sitting here playing in my face. Miss Adams wants you to believe she wouldn't tell Shy Charles because Shy Charles knew Mr. Diggs. That requires you to completely ignore the fact that she chose freely and willingly to go to New York to stay with Shy Charles. December 13th, she told Mr. Diggs, she told Stefon Diggs what she thought the NDA was all about. And it was about the blog issue. You think it might make a little sense if the NDA was about any kind of a physical assault, a strangulation? That she might say to him anything. Hey, you know what this NDA is really about. Or maybe just, the NDA, because you assaulted me? Not a word. She describes why that's there. And those are her words from December 13th. And that is undisputed. Now let's talk about the police for a few moments. Because Miss Adams went to the police, as you heard, on December 16th. And there's other undisputed facts in this report. She lied to the police. She did not leave her job. Miss Adams told you something yesterday where she said, well, left my position was like in the house, but that wasn't my job. And you heard what Officer Ellis said this morning. I said, you mean her position, as in her job? And he said, of course. She told Officer Ellis that she just went back to get her stuff. And you know that isn't true. And at times, she seemed to admit that that wasn't true. And you know from her own words at the time to both Mr. Diggs and to Sonny that that wasn't true. The text message that you've heard about the deletion. There's two things that I want you to pay close attention to and that I want to talk to you about in both Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2. Exhibit 1, the text message that she sent purporting to be a screenshot of the argument that led to a violent assault that ended with Mr. Diggs choking her. That's what she told Officer Ellis. And you heard that from him this morning. You also heard from her that she deleted messages. And I think what she said was something like, I didn't want to look bad, or something along those lines. And if you look at what was actually deleted, the words she said, she was saying bet and pussy were what she deleted, that's what she did. She did delete those messages, right? Those are not in the text messages that she provided to Dedham Police. But more importantly, what she actually deleted that wasn't about making her look bad or not, it was right after the words, I'm out of your life. And it said, and ruining that bitch life. And then you can actually go to Exhibit 2 and look, there's a fairy emoji she sends. And why that's important is because, as you heard from Officer Ellis this morning, it'd be important to know somebody deleted messages. It'd be important to see the full picture. And that message right there and ruining that bitch life, apologies for the language, with the fairy emoji, you think that might have prompted the question, hey, who's that bitch? She answered the question for you yesterday. It was Lindsay. The argument wasn't about money. You have it in evidence. And Miss Adams later admitted that. These lies to the police, the fact that they're undisputed, why? Look at all of those facts. They're undisputed in the record. They are all there. If you remove from those facts one thing, that an assault occurred, they all make sense. If you plug in that she was assaulted that afternoon before all of this happened, before everything I just read to you, none of it makes sense. Why would a person who was just strangled go down to the kitchen, chat on the phone, and not have a single mark on their face or look even remotely bothered? Why would that same person cook dinner for the man who just did it? Why would that same person knock on his bedroom door and deliver 2 birthday presents? Why would she act the way she did for the next week? And then why lie about it repeatedly to the police?
He keeps going. He's doing that. What was the Backstreet Boys song? Tell me why. It's like, why? I don't know, man. I have a lot of questions.
And what ended up happening next, just chronologically, gives away the game on that. Because what you heard is that only a couple weeks later, her mediator made a demand for money. And if you plug that fact in, now it all makes perfect sense. We have provided evidence to you. We have presented evidence. We have called witnesses. As I said, we're doing so in order to give you the fullest picture of December 2nd and of what happened or did not happen. And think about that for one moment. How do you prove a negative? It's basically impossible, right? Pick a day 2 months ago, account for every action that you did on that day, every moment of your day. Great, now prove it. Can't be done. And this trap, the framers of our system, they were aware of it, and that's why it works the way that it does. The burden is on the Commonwealth to prove their case. And their case, as you have seen, is the internally inconsistent testimony of one witness. And that is their entire case. And that is not enough to meet their burden. The burden that you are going to hear is reasonable doubt. And the judge is going to tell you that that's to a moral certainty. How much would you bet on the words of Jamila Adams? Would you bet your own life, someone else's? You have all of the tools in what I just laid out for you to make a credibility assessment. But it is not only that, because the other thing the judge is going to tell you is you can actually take into account the way the witness answered questions, behaved, their demeanor, how they looked. Did they sound consistent? Did the things they say actually at least stay true internally in their own story? And one example I'll give you on that is this morning, when Ms. Adams was asked about another monetary demand. She didn't answer the question. She couldn't. She wouldn't. She gave you multiple excuses. She tried to say attorney-client privilege, and when there was no response to that, she said, I can't answer that correctly. Take the way she answered questions into account, but line it up against the facts that you know that you have, because that's how you got to make a decision, on facts, on evidence. In terms of the evidence that the Commonwealth has actually presented to you, What they have presented to you are the claims of one person. Their second witness undermined their first. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason they had absolutely nothing to corroborate this allegation, which one thing I will say about the assault and battery, she described Mr. Diggs slapping her on the right side of her face with his right hand. And she actually demonstrated it for you. But the problem is that's a physical impossibility. And the reason I would suggest to you that that demonstration didn't go quite well is because sometimes people miss their mark. Sometimes actors forget the script. What you do not have before you is anything that you can base a firm decision on, unless that decision is that the Commonwealth has not proved its case. The Commonwealth has an opportunity to speak to you after I do. And you heard the Commonwealth question some witnesses about working for Mr. Diggs. There's a number of people who were called as witnesses. We tried to be as quick as possible. It's not terribly exciting to hear a witness talk about how they heard and saw nothing. But for a moment, stop and think and ask yourself, if you were accused of having something happen at your house on some random day 3 weeks ago, who would be there with you? The people closest to you. It'd be your family, the people who are in your house all the time. And for Mr. Diggs, we talked about that. That's staff. That's Miss Salas. That's all the people that you heard from. One thing that I want to talk about is a reason for bias. Because when Mr. Virtue asked, I think the first witness she was Miss Salas. Mr. Diggs paid her salary, isn't that right? The one witness who has the most significant financial interest in this is Jamila Adams. You heard her talk a lot about money yesterday, and that was the Commonwealth's only witness to even touch on what they claim this assault was. That's their evidence. They cannot, and they have not, proved this case because no assault occurred on December 2nd, or as I said, any other day. And it's your obligation to hold them to that burden and to decide the case on the evidence that you have in front of you. And that evidence provides one answer alone. And I would suggest to you that that is that Miss Adams made this accusation as a means of trying to leverage and humiliate and to punish Stefon Diggs. And you heard that he has been living with this case and these accusations since December of 2025. And it is time to end. The evidence that you have heard that has been put before you is not enough for the Commonwealth to sustain their burden. It is your obligation to return a true and a just verdict. And the evidence that you have heard requires that you go back into that room and that you lift this burden off Mr. Diggs' shoulders and that you tell him and the world that Stefon Diggs is not guilty of this incident that never occurred. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Feels like it's been a little while since last time I talked to you guys directly. So, was Miss Adams a perfect witness? No. She was argumentative, avoided, difficult. But does that mean you should throw away everything she says? She said, no. I think it'd be easy for you guys to do that, but that's not your job. You guys are the jury. It's your job, your sacred duty, to comb over every bit of evidence you heard, to consider it, to give it the attention it deserves, the attention, the scrutiny, the weight it deserves. You don't have to like Miss Adams. You don't have to like the way she testified today and yesterday, but you do have to give her and her testimony the attention it deserves. You heard from her about what happened in that room on December 2nd. She said, he entered the room, slapped her, put her in a headlock, said some things to her. I suggest if you remember how she was testifying, I think the way she was testifying to that lends some to her credibility. She was taking her time. She was looking. She was trying to remember things. As defense counsel predicted, one of the things I'm going to say is that Miss Adams was the only witness you heard from about what happened in that room. You have defense's witnesses who said what happened afterwards, but if you remember Miss Adams' testimony, she said that was after she had an opportunity to kind of put herself together. She said she cried, she changed her clothing, she kind of started packing. The question you may be having is, why would she act that way? Why was she going out and smiling? Well, I'd suggest to you that all the people she was around are people that have known Mr. Diggs much longer than they've known her. I suggest you even consider the relationship she had with Mr. Diggs. He was sometimes lover, a boss, landlord.
Yeah.
Athlete.
But he's not being charged with, like, this isn't a DV situation, right? I mean, at least from the charges. I know that they're horrible charges, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but still, like.
A celebrity, financially powerful, surrounded by people that were all on his payroll that liked him. That when you put that all in consideration, her behavior does make sense in that it was her way of continuing on past that. And she told you that they had a complicated relationship. She said they argued all the time. So that might also make sense as to why she texted them afterwards saying, hey, trying to make amends or trying to figure things out, why she gave the birthday present afterwards. In this case, you heard 4 kind of things, right? You heard things that weren't evidence. The openings, these closings, questions, things that were stricken, those are things that aren't evidence. They can kind of give you some context, but those aren't the evidence in and of themselves. You heard the actual evidence. That was the testimony from the witnesses, the videos, photos, and you'll be able to see also all those text messages. The third thing you're going to hear, so things that aren't evidence, things that are evidence in the law. The judge gave you some preliminary law at the start of the case. She's going to now, once the closings are done, instruct you on the full law. I ask that you give her the same attention that you've given to all the evidence, and you give the same attention to both attorneys during the closing. You give the judge that attention when she reads the law. And there's a fourth thing that you're going to need to pay attention and listen to and consider, and that's each other. When you guys are done here, once I finish, once the judge reads the law to you guys, it'll be your job to go into that room and deliberate on this case. When you go in that room, it's up to you guys how you want to run it. There's no manual, there's no guide, there's no schedule of how you guys are going to come to your decision and reach your verdict. And no one is going to make sure you're doing it one way. What I would suggest you guys do, and you guys can do whatever you want. This is just my suggestion to you. What I suggest you guys do is you don't go in there and just say, all right, let's take a poll right off the bat. I suggest you guys take the time, go over all the evidence, go over each witness, talk about each witness, try and do it both ways, back and forth for every witness, not just the Commonwealth's defense as well. Go over every bit of evidence. Really take the time that this case deserves. And also listen to each other. I'd suggest as much as you can, make sure if there's someone that's that's not saying anything, make sure you get to hear from them as well. As I said at the start of this case, that every bit of evidence is important, and that's true. I'd hope that if you guys fairly treat every bit of evidence the attention it deserves, give the analysis, the scrutiny for all the witnesses, all the evidence, and talk amongst yourselves, that you guys will come to the correct verdict. And I would suggest that verdict is the verdict of guilty on all counts. Thank you very much.
Well, that was short. That was very short. And back to the white noise. We're going to stop right here because that's when the judge sends the jury away, yada, yada, yada. And there's like a 2-hour wait. There's literally a 2-hour wait. So verdict okay. So Massachusetts jury found Stefon Diggs not guilty of a felony strangulation and misdemeanor assault and battery. The verdict was reached after about 90 minutes of deliberation following a 2-day trial regarding an alleged December 2025 incident with his former live-in chef, Jamila Adams. Okay. So charges again, Diggs was accused of attacking his chef over a money dispute. The jury found him not guilty on all counts. And Diggs was emotional upon hearing the verdict. The defense attorneys pointed to the inconsistencies in the accuser's testimony regarding the financial demands. Wow. That was sucky closing arguments. I mean, the defense did what they were supposed. They defended, but the states, I mean, it was very much like what that was like less than 6 minutes. I was counting less than 6 minutes. My goodness, she can just walk. Well, I mean, I do wonder how this is gonna like help her out in the civil case. I don't think it will, but I guess we'll see. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm gonna go take some medicine, guys. I'm getting a lot of emails too from we gotta review the D4VD stuff. I don't know if I'll go live today, maybe tomorrow on it, but I gotta get some medication because I'm struggling. Shout out to everybody that supported. SJ, thank you so much again for the super stickers. Thank you. And then I rock for gifting and all the people that became members. Thank you guys. Hit the like button. I'm gonna go, y'all. My ears are ringing. I gotta go. That was riveting. That was interesting. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. I know. I will. We're gonna do we gotta kick whatever crap is going on. It's just too much, y'all. I'm telling you. I get sick, everybody gets sick. I gotta go. Bye, guys. And Didi, thank you so much for gifting. Thank you. You've been gifted real quick before Baby Bunny comes in and disrupts my life again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye, guys.